Hey, hey. Welcome to the stream. Happy Monday. Oh, it's happy Monday. It's only, for you lucky fellas, 18 days, 2 hours and 30 minutes until you're going to be tucking into a brand new league with an all-you-can-eat endgame buffet by the looks of it. Unfortunately for me, it's 21 days, 2 hours and 30 minutes, so I'll be tucking in. Well, no, I'll still be on a flight home then. It's just over 3 weeks, so I'm going to get to play. I'm starting to get a bit jealous. I'm starting to get a bit hyped. I'm starting to get a bit jealous. Managed to stop myself getting hyped before there was, actual stuff to get hyped over. Got a prop for today's stream as well. I've got one of these, even if the game doesn't. In fact, I've got 2 of these. So, It's looking pretty around here. I got all the swords to play with. All the swords. I also got something we wanted to... Oh, shit. Making a mess. Oh, dear. Oh, blimey. Also got a couple of things I wanted to do in game, because we started doing this when I started streaming last, which was divining these to perfect so I could mirror them and waste all my mirrors. This was important. But there was some content that I really also didn't pay full attention to. I'm not going to lie. When I got on Discord with the guys and the live launch went off, I was mostly bothered by talking to them rather than watching what was going on the screen. But now it's up on YouTube, and that means I can skip over bits I don't want to watch and focus in on the bits I do want to watch, which is quite good. So we're going to do a little bit of a dive through the videos, have a look at some of the Q&A, FAQ, stuff like that. And then depending on time and how much time I spend dilly-dallying, looking at videos and talking nonsense about them, we'll probably come in and do a bit of crafting of these boots. We are already, one moment, caller. We're already used 800 divines. So, it's been obscene. There's been an obscene number of divines that have been had to be used. It's because this is... The chance of getting this is... what is it? 12? 11, sorry, 20. We might not get it. I think it's about a 1 in 12,000. I think. It might be a bit less than that. I'm like a 1 in 10,000. But this was going to be my experiment to show just how fucking brutal it is to do anything in this game. Why everything costs so many divines for perfect items. But there's a lot of rolls. A lot of rolls with a lot of values. I think that's how you do it. I think that's how it works out. Hey Gondi. Oh, I've got loads of mirrors. I've got 5 of them. I've got all the mirrors. We are mirror rich. We are king of the mirrors. Little cat man, what are you viewing at? I even busted out the PoE hat. The PoE hat's come back. Although, to be fair, I wore this for some EU5 as well. It was okay. I've got McDonald's. Timesed all the values together, all the numbers together, of the ranges. I think it's how you do it. I can't remember. I know I've used 800 and we haven't got it, so it doesn't seem like necessarily wrong. We do a few clicks now. We're looking for a 27, 24, 10, 10, 10, but it's easier to look for the 10s at the bottom, and then when we see them, then we check the bits at the top. We've seen all 10s at the bottom 3 times in 800 clicks. I remember that much. The bell always ends. Don't let the bells end. Christmas time. Banger. Oh, God. I think I still sang it in a better voice than he did. God, that guy's voice fucking makes you... Jesus. Hey. How's it going? So we're gonna click this for a bit. Just while I... Oh, that was a 666. I didn't see if it was a... Every time I see your name log in, I just keep thinking of the Lonely Island song, the Captain Jack Sparrow one with Michael Bolton. Absolute banger. Oh, I'm gambling these shit boots. This is what I'm spending my mirrors on. We're gonna hit a perfect thing. Fuck selling stuff for 100,000 divines, like Belton's been doing. Now what we're gonna do is we're gonna waste all our divines, and then we're gonna send them to standard. And that way I won't feel bad if in the future I accidentally delete everything, because nothing will exist to be deleted. Delete it in stages. Oh yeah, I did that a couple. Oh, in fact, I didn't even have a look. I don't think there's anything in there now. I don't think we have anything left to sell. Oh, there's our 0 stack though. Look at it. Look at it looking so beautiful. Yeah, I can brick some gear, dude. What have I still got in the shop? Absolute trash. What do you want me to do with it? It's already corrupted. I can't do anything with that. Oh, I can double corrupt it. Oh, that's really good. I need to remember how the buttons work. 1 second. Right. Okay. So, yeah, that double corrupts. Alright, so we just need to corrupt that. That's right. With one of these active. It's been a while since I've done this. It's been like 5 months. And I'm like, oh my god, how's it work? Oh my god, we got accuracy. At least it didn't brick. They don't work with these, do they? No. Not with Acoustic Orb. Alright. This ring could get, like, crit bonus on it as well. That'd be pretty good. Oh, fuck. Right, this one. This could get, what's it got now? It's really well rolled. Gandhi. It's all going away. Oh, look at all the movement speed. Oh. Something I can give you back the I can give you back this. Everything else broke. Oh, what was that? Hey, Royal. Anyone else want me to break the gear? I'm happy to blow up any gear. If anyone wants to clear out their stash, I'll blow up your gear. Just bring me the things. Oh. Oh, that's nice. That's very nice, bow. Oh, I remember you getting that mirror bow. Hey, mate. There they all are. Look at them. Beautiful. Beautiful mirrors. It's Bubby's bow. Ooh, Fubby Wubby. It is Bowie Wowie. Don't tell him I said that. Hurt me. Emotionally. All my gear's already like... Oh, man. I could twice corrupt my gear. My own gear. Oh, it's so good, though. This character's so good. Oh, God. Oh, I know. I know. I know. I know. I know. I've got... Why... Why did I keep all of these? What was I doing before I stopped playing? I mean, obviously I was doing Arbiter, but why was this? Why is this here? Yeah, you're right. I'm actually not going to play this league anymore either. Right, this wand has got +1 cold spells, +1 spell skills, obviously from the socket. Gain, critical hit, cold spell, critical damage. It's pretty good. Split up. Bam. Oh shit! I just hit +27% crit on it. That's fucking mad. That's fucking mad. What the fuck? Oh, we back, boys. We're back. The dopamine is back. What the fuck? Holy shit. That's worth actual. I know that's worth actual money. I know. That's worth real money. What the fuck? I've been sitting on that fucking league. Welcome back. Oh shit, I can make my build better. No way. I'm gonna be overstacked on like crit everywhere. What numbers did I need again? I can't remember. I think I'd should be 2 skill points back, probably. Right, I can just take 27% crit off somewhere. Where did I have some crit on this tree? Did I think I'd already shed every bit of crit. I had. This tree's so perfect. This is what all trees should look like. Like, if your tree doesn't look like this by the end of a 6-month league, you haven't farmed hard enough. I don't think I've got any crit left to take. Like, genuinely, I'd have to take it from gems, probably. I'd have to swap out. I'd have to go and buy other jewels and then swap those out. I've probably got like a 26% one where I could get more crit bonus. And that would be about it. I really have no crit on this tree anywhere. What the hell was I doing? How am I crit capped? Fuck. I mean, I'm still crit capped, but there we go. I'd have to swap out one of these for one with crit bonus instead of like spell damage and crit bonus instead of spell damage and crit chance. That would no, that's not true. That's not true. I could probably get rid of those 2 points. Put them somewhere else. Yeah. Anyway, don't need to. That was just a surprise. 100% crit chance. Yeah, I can brick your negative rarity ventals. Just feel free to bring them over. I'm happy to brick anything. I'm going to check out some of the videos and do a bit of a dive into some of the content soon. But I mean, that was a fun start. Yeah, bring it over, dude. I'll fucking hell. 7 spell skills, 99% crit chance wand. No. The other one, I can't remember why it's got 21% quality. I think it was exceptional. I think it was an exceptional that started with 21% quality. If I remember. Alright, thanks, dude. Let's do it. We got some. Oh, they're really nice. Got some reduced rarity Ventors. We're going to hit the first one. It's going to be huge. No! You want me just to hit them both with the other things? On to 22. It didn't completely brick. It's pretty bad, though. Got that big damage roll. This one I don't think can Kringle. I think it can only add another line or blow up, by the way. Didn't get worse. You lost 3% negative rarity, but you've gained damage. Gained the big stuff. Right, back to divining these boots. I do have more twice to double corrupt. I already know. I know what happens to these if I corrupt them, though. I don't know. Oh, yeah, that one. Hang on, do I not have Exiled Exchange running? I guess that would make sense, because I haven't played the game for fucking 5 months. Not going to need Exiled Exchange soon. It's going to be fucking awesome. I think that would be worth a rather obscene amount. That's really nice. I'm pumped to need less stuff. I still think it's a bit dodgy how they banned the dude from TFT just before they released all the big... I don't know. I thought it's a video game. I shouldn't fucking care so much. Just play the fucking video game. Be happy about slamming amazing things. With 18 days left of the league, I'm taking that to standard. That's staying with me. I love it. It's my friend. I'm going to call it Wandy. Also, I'm out of milk. I really want a cup of tea. I have to make a cup of black coffee. Smells rank in here. It does smell rank in here. It's my fault. Should have had a shower this morning. They banned what's his face because he's responsible for so much RT. It isn't. Yeah, but surely they knew before. It couldn't have taken 8 years for them to know. It fucking couldn't. I don't believe it. Pull the other one. They just let that go because it was mutually beneficial. I don't know. I actually don't know what my name is. Dreadlocked codpiece. Like a dreadlocked wrestler from the part of America. He was a Buffalo... Yeah, you know. Buffalo Soldier. I'm calling my next character Buffalo Soldier. No, I'm not. Good film, though. Strong film. Might watch it. Buffalo Slong piece. Oh, shit! That wasn't. It was 20. It wasn't. It wasn't 27 at the top. It was. Yeah, it wasn't 27 at the top. I know it wasn't 27 at the top. I didn't see a 7. I didn't see a. I don't think I saw a 7. I saw 10s at the bottom. Where can I rewind myself? I want to go. Oh, no. No. It wasn't perfect. Right, thank you. I actually believe you. Other people would lie to me. Victor would lie. He'd be like, no, it was perfect. I just got a bit too click happy. God, that wand. Oh, man, I'm fucking literally hard. I'm going to get a coffee. Manor and Armor Willow. Yeah, I'm really excited for the next league. Parker, that was you that whispered me a thing. Oh, shit. That's really good. That's almost perfect. That's very good, dude. If you want me to break it, I can. If you want to keep it, take the standard league. I understand. If you want, but feel free to turn up and trade it to me if you want me to do something with it. I'm more than happy to break stuff. Also, I'm aware that I'm divining a level 4 pair of boots, but Victor was very proud of these boots, and I want to also be proud of these boots. So I don't know what else to do. Fucking divines. Yeah, it needs that 27, 24. I mean, I could just keep. I could just keep rolling so I see 27 at the top and then look down. That's more checks then. It's more pleasing. No, I think it's easier to stop than triple tens as well. Pour that coffee. I will be looking at some monk stuff, as promised by the stream title. I will be looking at some stuff. But, yeah, like, I just got really excited to actually be in the game, which I didn't think was going to happen. I didn't think that was going to happen. I've been really, really put off playing the game for the last few months because of a couple of real life things that have happened. And I didn't think I was going to be excited by the game. I thought I was just going to be instantly fucking depressed like last time. But no, this is fine. No rope needed, no stool needed. Happily looking for my triple 10. Having fun. I'm having fun. Yeah, there is. It's come back. It's come back. I could try and whittle off the mana. Yeah, should we whittle off the mana? What do we want instead? Why did this feel backwards in my head? What do we want, Victor? We want to use the right type of orbs. Percent armor? Yeah, that'd be heavy. Whoa, 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 whoa. No. I hate gun production. No, we're just fucking around with a pair of Victor's boots, yeah. I got nothing to do with the rest of these divines. We don't do that. We could change anything but that. It should be a... I'm trying to divine these to perfect, and I think it's a 1 in 12,000. And so far we have... I'm sure it's a 1 in 12,000 to divine these to perfect. I just want to see if I can beat the spread at this point. We're already like 1,000 in. I've never ever tried to do this in PoE 2 or PoE 1. I mean, it would be nice to be doing it with an actual mirror tier item, but it's... they're both about as valuable as each other, really, in the scheme of things. Victor can have these back when I'm done. Just trying to see if I can beat the spread. What do you mean you specialize in promoting Twitch channels? How about you specialize in fucking off? Sorry, it was one of those bots. I wasn't in the mood. I shouldn't have been so angry to the clanker. I've become a modern Luddite. I specialize in lowering the tone. Oh no. We don't want to do that. We need the tone elevated. These are horrible. I'm going to take a break from clicking on this soon, and we're going to rewatch some of the... I didn't watch the end of the Q&A, which is now neatly divided up into questions. Damn good for nothing clankers. Coming here and taking our jobs. True story. Clankers are taking jobs. Freaking out at work at the moment. Had a conversation where it's like, the teams that used to be the slowest teams, yeah, they're now really fast because of AI. I'm like, yeah. Yeah, I noticed that. AI doesn't really work with power apps so well just yet. Well, it does, it's just not approved. God damn it. I don't want to worry about that. I want to worry about getting triple tens. Hot take, we should just use AI to make work more efficient so we can work less. Not really. Yeah, but by working less, you need less people to do the same work. So the net result is they employ less people. Whenever they say, oh, AI, don't worry, it's just going to make you need to do 20% less bullshit. It's like, then you need 20% less people. Because I can spend that... Yeah, I'm not going to spend that 20% of time with my thumb up my asshole, am I? You're going to make me spend that 20% of time doing the work that I can do that the AI can't. Which apparently, if you're meta now, is to put on a pair of glasses and train the AI that's going to, like, fucking take your job. It's dystopian to the max. We would need to burn it down and start again. Start again. It's done. Back to monkey. We're all going back to the forest. We're all picking berries. That's it. There's no questions. Berry time. I mean, yeah, there's one way of putting it. Optimize working less by getting laid off because of AI. Got more time for PoE. No, Baku, AI can't do your job. Although there are some robots in Japan and China that are getting pretty close. Like, they can definitely chop something. I don't know if they can cook stuff properly, but they've got, like... Hey. Yeah, back to PoE now. It's about time, isn't it? It's about time. The new league's coming up. There's enough information coming out that it's not unreasonable to start thinking about what might be possible with what information we've got. I don't like the speculation side of things. I think it gets people too fired up, and then I think they get taken up to this high, and then they crash down, and then they peter out, accepting what's there. But I think the high should be when we find out what we're actually getting. There's too much Disappointment. So I'm going to be coming in just after the speculation time. If I take a break again in the future, I mean. If I take a break again in the future, I think I'm going to do the other content on a different channel. And then just do like a little bit of PoE stuff, like maybe once or twice a week. If it's longer leagues or whatever. If the league's just boring after the first couple of months, you know. I don't want to beholden myself to playing this every day if I'm tearing my hair out in boredom. It's no fun for anyone. Yeah. It's still early access. Like, I mean, it's all transient. None of it really matters in the scheme of things, is it? It's supposed to be a 4-month league. You play the league, you have some fun, and then you play the next league if you want, or you don't. Or from what I was reading, where did I see this? There's something about their player retention. I think it might have been from Japanese Twitter, and they were saying that the majority of the players don't play league to league. There's like 20% of players that do that. But people will like play like 1 in 2 or 1 in 3 or 1 in 4 leagues or whatever, and they'll just like come back to it and stuff. It's like, that sounds nice, but I have to unfortunately make content. I am missing league start by 3 days. I'm in Amsterdam until the 31st, so I probably, honestly, won't start playing until the 1st of June. Even when I get back on the 31st of this month, I'm going to be fucking caned. I'm not going to be... Well, I might, like, start the stream up just so you can all laugh at how red my eyes are, but that'll be about it. So my league start's going to be a bit scuffed. For me, it's like, I'd like to be planning a league start, but honestly, I'm hoping you're not going to be able to go too far wrong with like following this if you just wanted a nice cheap league start. When the patch notes come out, I'm gonna, because this guide I know like the back of my hand, the Hollow Palm league start. So I'm gonna see if there's much that needs to change to this that would work for like a 3-day league start, and then so when I come back in, the guys will boost me up, so I won't have to go through the campaign or anything. Lucky me. Shit, got friends and stuff. But the guys will sort me out, so I'll be able to catch up, and then we can see about some early end game builds off the back of hopefully a monk starter. Obviously, want to play martial artist. It's new. I love the monk. The invoker, I'm hoping will just work. Right, invoker's still solid. Yeah, I've seen the grenade launchers. I've got that up. We'll be watching that soon. We're gonna watch through some of the videos. I've got them up here. I prepped my stream. Look, I got like the FAQ stuff here. We were going to end on this, but you know, talk about it now briefly. I've got the FAQ stuff up, the videos I want to watch. Jonathan's happy little face, like, oh my god, dun 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 dun. It's like one of those like Freaky Friday movies. But Jonathan's turning into Ziggy. Oh no, what's gonna happen next? Fucking Bell Fister. That's his name. You fist bells. That's what you do. You don't miss the time of my life. Mate, I'm too old to be going to Amsterdam. It's my nephew's stag do. Oh, he's not watching. He won't be watching. He won't be watching. He won't have put me on while he's playing Warhammer or anything. It's his stag do. There's like a bunch of us, 12 of us going down there. But I'm gonna be like fucking. Well, I am like Unk. I am literally Unk. That's why I am there as Unk, with him and all his mates, and they're all like, they're all gonna be like 10, 15 years younger than me, and I'm gonna be there being like, old man. Unk will smoke them under the table, but that's again, that's because I'm in my mid-30s and they're in their mid-20s. Yeah. I already invite you on my stag. Is there a more satisfying sound? How do you do, fellow kid? Sometimes I do feel like that. Sometimes it's starting to happen. It's starting to happen. It started happening really when I think I got to about 32, 33. There'd be moments where I'd think, oh, fuck. I'm a bit old. Oh, shit. And as I've edged up over 35 to 36 over the last few years, it's got there's more and more occasions. I'm sure I'm, you know, going to ask the stripper what she studied at college, or like I'm going to do something like that. That's going to be really embarrassing. You know, is your father proud of you? You know, maybe I'll really bring the tone down. I'm actually pretty excited to bring the tone down with a stripper. Uh, uh, so, so, had the same. I like smoke, and I see the same person about my smoke, and I've done that now for fucking decade, more than. Went to school with a guy, good friend, and he came around mine at the weekend. Not for that, he actually came round and we sat and we spoke about the oil markets, the war in Iran, the effect on fertilizer prices, and actually we sat there and we were talking about financial markets for the best part of about 2.5 fucking hours. Culminating with, do you think we'd be better at this if we just sort of stopped smoking? Yeah, yeah, yeah. Movers and shakers on the markets because of the oil crash and how that's affected fertilizer, the ripple effects up through. Oh, fucking Jesus Christ. I'm not here to give financial advice. That's as far as I'm going into it. If I'm taking risks with my own money, it's mine. I'm not playing with anyone else's. But yeah, and we spent some time talking about what we thought might happen, whether we thought things were hyperbolic that were coming from either Iran or the US, and what that might do to affect the markets opening Monday morning. We both guessed correctly. It was good morning. Yes. Maybe Royal, maybe we wouldn't. Oh, is that what happened there, Baku? I thought you just got really excited about this thought of me talking about finance, and you were going to ask me when's the finance with Farum channel opening up. And I was like, I've got to do the food with Farums and the films with Farum before we do finance with Farum. I haven't even started either of those. I've still got a full-time job, so there's only so much fucking I can do. I mean, effing I can do. The fucking with Farum's going to be my OnlyFans, of course. I should make some. Cat was excited about it, no doubt. God, if I miss this, it's a 1 in 12,000. That is insane. This is missed. The only fans one. Do not condone that site in any way, shape, or form. So saith the YouTube overlords. Don't think I'm even supposed to mention the name. But these things slip up on live stream, it's okay. How far into the stream is it? Oh yeah, the AI bot won't watch this far. It's fine. That would cost too many RAM units. Have to get more RAM from penisland.com. Download some. Ah. Oh, these two ones went to the wrong end. Ah. We're about 1,500 divines in now. I don't understand, like, there's a reason mirror crafters charge a fee, and I think I now understand why. I never really understood why. I just thought those people were being dirty capitalists, being like, I've got something you want, you can give me all the money, and I'm like, it's a video game, dude. I had to find the mirror. But now I can actually see that they want their... They need to fix their RSI after this. I bet there's some cheeky way you could do this with a screen reader and an auto-clicker. Not condoning that either. That's definitely going to get you in a lot of trouble. I bet there is. And then I bet it could do it really fast. So we're seeing triple tens, like a 1 in Should be about a 1 in 250. Should be. Every 250. And then the other two is a 1 in 99. So yeah, we have to times those two things together. Fuck that. Like, no way. This is why people would never mirror something. This is like trying to get a Ventors. Imagine trying to... This is why a perfect Ventors is so rare. It is actually a 1 in 12,000 for this. We've got triple tens again, but with a shit top. Does a perfect Ventors even exist on standard? Does one even exist on PoE 1? It must do, right? This must exist on PoE 1. Yeah, should do. Oh my god, this is actually... So I have played another action RPG that has a crafting system where you can pick one of these lines, and then you can pick to make sure it's a certain thing, and it will just keep rolling at least until that line gets that thing. I'm not going to be able to spend them. I won't be able to spend them. Well, I've got the 50 mirror wand now. The big dick wand. I actually thought this would be... Like, when I first picked these up, I was like, oh, this is going to be done in, like, 500 clicks. Yeah. Like, 12,000 is just the average as well. It's like... I think it was 20. I'm sure it was 20 above. I'm not very good at this, so I'm practicing ready for mirror crafting next week. It wouldn't have been 10, 10, 10. It was 20. I saw the 20. It was not. It was not a perfect roll. It was 20 something. It was 2320 or something. I don't know what the top line was. Definitely wasn't 24. It was a triple 10 though. What I'm trying to stop on, but actually looking at the three lines together is actually just slightly too many lines. I think I can only actually look at two at once. Don't think I can take in the third and be accurate. I don't know if I could even take in two and be accurate. Means I should be looking to check on 27 at the top because that's the rarest. I think I could take in three at a time when I started clicking. I think now my eyes have started to just like fucking bleed. Now I need to focus on just one. This is actually much harder than it looks. Like, just concentrating on this is actually difficult. It's 20, it'll be 27, 24. Oh, it was, no, it's 24, dude. I know it wasn't a 24. It was one off. Look, 23, but it was fucking close. That was two off. Fuck me. This, Jesus. Oh, right. I'm proper. I'm gonna need to lock in if we're gonna get this done. We've had 1 off and we've had 2 off now. I thought it was much further off than that. That's what I mean by, like, all of these numbers are just bleeding together. I'm too fucking retarded for this. Like, I am actually too... Like, in the very literal sense of the word, I am far too slow for this. And that black coffee isn't helping. It just... My milk's not going to be here for like another 2 hours as well. It's unacceptable. We might watch a couple of the video things. Probably when I get down to about 1,500 divines. We might switch to watching some videos. Mostly because I need my eyes to have a rest from this. Like, 40 minutes of clicking like this is... This isn't the crafting for me. You know, this isn't exciting crafting. This is actually just becoming, like, my heart's in my mouth crafting. Like, it's horrible. Like, the kind of stuff you do after, like, 10 Adderalls at 11 o'clock at night with fucking Russian hard bass just, like, pumping into your ears. No one around. Yeah, yeah. You just gotta, you know, gotta take yourself into the zone, into your happy place, however you get there. Be it's 10 Adderalls and Russian hard bass. Can't believe I almost missed a 1-off. I can't believe I did miss a 1-off. It wasn't an almost. I did straight up miss it. I think we've seen the triple 10s now 8 times in total. Which is about right, because we've spent about 2,000 divines doing this so far. This sucks. These are the most invested in level 4 boots on the server, no doubt. Come on. Come on, triple 10s. What is this? Blackjack. Uno. Snakes and ladders. Wait, that doesn't have a call. Go fish. By the power of Grayskull? I don't know if there's any magic words. They don't seem to work. Streamer client's not working. It must have turned me off for not streaming it for 4 months. Hey, hey, hey. No. Trying to hit a 1 in 12,000 stat roll. So far we've hit 1 off and we've hit 2 off, but we haven't hit it. I've had triple 10s a few times. We're gonna watch a video because I've gone blind. Right, this came out today and I was kind of excited. I've been watching videos about going to Amsterdam. I haven't been for like 8 years, so I need to make sure that it's still okay.
I'm Mark Roberts.
He's Mark Roberts.
On Path of Exile. Today, we'd like to showcase 2 new unique items. First, Nightfall, a shield of the Breach Lord.
Kind of hot. Is the radio really quiet?
Tool herself. And then, Redemption, a Trathan weapon of absolute destruction. These are both being added in Return of the Ancient.
It has a loudener on it. Like, the only purpose to have that at the end of your weapon is to make it make more noise. It's like the opposite of a silencer. It's like it's a widener, so it's going to make the sound go boom. It's like the only reason to have that.
Tull ruled her frozen, barren wasteland.
Hang on.
Tull ruled her frozen...
If I walked into the girls' bathroom, I might question things.
Barren wasteland with an eye cast outward to world. Her frozen barren... Tull ruled her frozen...
That's a
barren
dude.
wasteland with an eye cast...
He's got the wrong shaped body armor. Yeah, but he's called a her. She's Tull's a her. I would have said that. I would not have guessed.
She wanted more for her brood, and
Do you
being
mean
the
the
formidable
nipples?
breach
They are...
lord that she is, she waged war to get what she wanted. Nightfall gives you the opportunity to wage war like a breach lord. Using Soaring Midnight, you throw the shield outward. If you do
One
nothing,
bigger than mine.
it will return
Yeah.
to you. However,
Got a whole
using
host
the
of them
skill
bigger than
again while
mine.
the shield is airborne will teleport you to the shield and slam it down for ultimate devastation. Catching the shield or destroying ice crystals will reset the cooldown, allowing you...
Is this it at level 20? I'm assuming Embrace the... Oh yeah, we can see Embrace the Fall somewhere. I think it does like 1,239% damage or something. 1147, I can't remember. It's quite a high amount of damage, I think. It's got a cooldown time on it. The attack time is going to be long. That makes everything long. You never get rid of that. What does it say? Skills cooldown is skipped if you catch the shield as it returns, or destroy an ice crystal with the Embrace the Fall. I wonder if you could... I wonder if... Like, so you'd be able to get Aftershocks to work with it. I wonder if you could, have a cast on crit that did Frostwall. Or a cast on something. Doesn't matter. What? Doesn't matter, really. Just as long as it's cast on this. And then... have that cast, and then have the Aftershock from it, from the attack, break the ice crystals, and have that take the cooldown back. Then you just zip around the map as a shield. Chip, 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 chip. Yeah. It's just a... Yeah. It's just a question of whether you can get the frost walls down as you teleport. No, I won't do it with Oracle. Fuck Oracle. Don't like the Oracle. Don't like the Druid. Don't like it. Don't know why. Don't like it. Got overhyped for it, and then it was a disappointment, and now it will always forever be a disappointment. I'll never play it now. Oh, I probably will. Probably not, yeah, we're gonna mirror it after we're done. Yeah. We are. It's such a cold take. I'm susceptible to the overhype. This is why I've separated myself from all those things. Oh, I don't want it. Don't want it. Ruins. Makes... Not good. Not good for me on the mental. Anyway. I think there's some interesting combinations here, providing that we can get things like Frost Walls down with a cast on elements, cast on crit. It does have enough crit. The attack damage is pretty high as well, and I think the Embrace the Fall damage is really high. I think we can see that on PoEDB, actually. What's it called? Oh, fucking stupid. The name of the shield. Oh, it's not here. I think it's on one of the pages. Oh, where the news is so shit. Why can't I click on arrows to see other news? I think it's here. Where was it? There was somewhere where we could... It wasn't on here. What about something else? There's somewhere where you could click on it like this. Did you know you could do that? I didn't. I only learned this the other day. But if you go on these, and then like normally if you try to go up it fucks up. But if you right click on it, then you can hover over it, and then you can actually click on these. And they'll come up and you can see them. I didn't know that. You can't like do it normally, but if you right click and get them to lock in place, you can actually click on the skills and see them like their skills. I don't think you're supposed to be able to do that. But yeah, I found that out with the items the other day. There was a... So I don't know. I don't think we see how much damage that does.
Ultimate devastation.
Yeah, that
Catching
doesn't...
the shield or destroying ice crystals will reset the cooldown, allowing
that doesn't
you,
work for me for
in
some
the
reason. I have to right click on them.
to become an avalanche
I was
yourself.
trying that. I tried Control Shift and Alt. None of them worked.
Now another unique, redemption. This is certainly no ordinary weapon. It specializes in all things that go boom. This weapon was created during the peak of the Trathan Wars, and wielded by none other than Ratha Azadi herself.
I don't know who that
It
is.
was designed specifically for her to send a message. Never again would a rival house doubt the ferocity of...
Damn slot don't do much for airflow.
God knows what conversation that's going to be. Who is Ratha Azadi? Why even logged in? It should be. I think it's going to know that this is from PoE. Oh, it does! Lies. Like, who is she? Is she new?
of House Azadi. This
What's
modified
House
crossbow
Azadi?
cannot use
I know who these
normal
people are.
ammunition skills, but is particularly effective at leveraging various grenades to demonstrate your explosive rhythm. That's because this isn't really even a crossbow at all. In fact, we've made an entirely new base type for this unique, which you can find at in-game and craft to be a rare item too.
That's going to be
including having a more
nuts.
grenade
This is going to be nuts. Like, this base type. Is... Did the other one have a 0 crit as well? Yeah, it's a 0 crit. Maybe. Guns in PoE before GTA 6? It's got 0 crit. But I like non-crit builds anyway. I think crit builds are overrated. Well, they're not overrated. They're the best. That's why everyone plays them. But I think they're over expensive for what you get from the... I think the bang for your buck on a crit build is bad. I always have thought that. Yeah, that's huge. That fizz damage is huge. Wonder if you could crash the game using the Oracle with this. Just, like, just keep multiplying by 0 constantly until it just becomes the number it's multiplying by just integer overflows and the game just goes... I am sure it wouldn't do anything unless you sat there for ages. Because eventually it's gonna... Yeah. I don't know. It probably wouldn't do anything at all. You're probably right.
Rhythm. That's because this isn't really even a crossbow at all. In fact, we've made an entirely new base type for this unique, which you can find at in-game and craft to be a rare item too, including having a more grenade-oriented mod pool.
Yeah, we absolutely should do it for science.
Guaranteed.
Armed with redemption, and once you have caused enough trouble,
How'd you like this?
you're ready to unleash explosive fervor.
Is that the Merc's voice
Causes
line?
you to ignore the typical cooldowns of grenade skills,
The
on
Merc?
top of dramatically increasing their fire rate, if you fire a medley of grenades, allowing you to go on an actual rampage, obliterating everything in sight.
Yeah! Hit the dirt!
You'll be
Yeah.
able to find Nightfall and Redemption as in-game unique items in Return of the Ancients. Join us for the release of Return of the Ancients on May 29th.
Very cool.
Thanks for watching, and see you then.
Very cool. It does sound a bit weird, yeah. Yeah, he doesn't... It's not quite British. It's like... I don't know, he sounds like he's trying to be some sort of, like, criminal. But doing a bad job. Like a Cockney criminal, but just, yeah. Sparky sounds Aussie. Yeah, they all do. They're all from that neck of the woods, aren't they? We got an early 10-10-10 in the clicks. I think the new shield could be very good, but it's all going to come to whether you can generate frost crystals that can be broken with you teleporting to the shield, and that break actually counting as the reset. Because if it doesn't count as the reset, it's got a 4-second cooldown on it, and if then you're going to have to look at, like, then it'd only be good with, like, Temporalis. And Temporalis makes a lot of... Anything with a cooldown, Temporalis will make good. That was 22-15. Oh, I've got the Billy Butcher poster next to me. Let's keep going. We're gonna hit this. It's gonna be amazing. I think I can see why people stop at like 2 or 3 before. Like, long. Imagine if divines had value. This would be incredibly painful. I need to watch the latest season of The Boys. I do. I haven't watched any of it. Is it season 4? I don't think I watched season 3 either. I haven't watched TV since my wife fucked off. Is it season 5? I haven't watched TV for, honestly, for about 3 years. Why did Gen V get cancelled? I was really enjoying that. It's the last season. Oh, man. I've been out of touch. I've literally... My TV is broken. My TV broke 2 days after Mads went. And then I just never bothered getting a new one. I just... haven't watched Fallout. No. It's not right. That's not a correct boot. Only watched the first season of Fallout. Basically, I stopped doing normal human things about 2 or 3 years ago. I really need to start doing normal human things again. Oh dear. Nah, there's no time for that. There's a 6-month Path of Exile League coming out. Yeah, I know Fallout was amazing. I know, I don't have a TV. I mean, I could watch it on my computer, I suppose. But I genuinely don't have a TV. Well, I have one, it's just looking pretty over there. It doesn't do anything. Doesn't make TV noises. Or TV pictures. They're doing a spin-off about the original soups. Danny could fix it, but Danny's still yet to invite me to the dig, so... I'm hoping he's not just going to spin it on me one morning, because I have to go to work. Or like, let work now. I need to take that off. I want to go and see Whatsits and crisp packets from 1952.
Keep your damn voices down.
But then Danny can come fix my TV. It's not like I could get a new TV, dude. It's not that I just... 3 pence for a packet of crisps is fucking absurd, dude. That's what life used to be like. You used to be able to get 1p sweets, man. You could go into the shop, you could get a handful of blackjacks and fruit salads, and they were a penny each. A penny for a sweet. It used to be halfpenny in my mum's day. Don't get halfpennies these days. Everyone stopped calling them half pennies, and then the government was like, nope, we need to get rid of those. We can't have people speaking non-proper English. What the fuck is this? And they fucking put you in gulag for the things you say online, being mean to people. I called Keir Starmer a fucking melt today on Twitter. That felt good. He was being a fucking melt. Absolute melt. They do. They could buy many packs of crisps. Ah! I think I have to break a mirror. Were they the drinks? The soda pop drinks, Destro. Remember the 10p soda pop drinks? The 5p packets of Space Raiders. I remember being able to go to the shop to get milk for my mum and dad with £2 and get the 4 pints of milk and 3 full-size chocolate bars. I remember being able to do that. Oh. I don't think I had those around. We used to just get the loose penny sweets. We did. Blackjacks and fruit salad. I hated blackjacks, but fruit salads were the fucking tits. I had one of those recently, and it just felt like it took a tooth out. Yeah, old man problems. It didn't take a tooth out, just hurt my teeth. Victor, what have you done to me with these boots? With these 1 in 12,000 boots? This is abuse of the highest level. I'm going to phone the RSPCA on you. Oh my god, I've only got 1,000 divines left. What is this? Wing, 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 the fucking noise. Ah. Ah, Sour Patch Kids. I love sour sweets. Tangfastics. Tangfastics are great. I used to eat loads of those, but then I went to the dentist and the doctor was like, "Your teeth are fucked, mate." That's just. And I was like, "This is Britland. What do you expect?" And then he fucking gave me a Chelsea smile and sent me on my way. And that's how we do dentistry over in Britland. I did have a filthy McDonald's before I started stream tonight, so I had my fill of shite for the day. Tempted by another black coffee. I don't know why. League Start's going to be so weird for me. Missing League Start is like, what the fuck? How did that even happen? Can't believe I'm going to miss it. It's only the first few days, but it's like, it's a weekend. It's the opening weekend. So everyone's always the most hyped, and then I'm going to be back on Monday, and like half the people are going to be back at work. Like, in fact, more than that. 80% of the players will be back at work. Be like, oh, it's Monday. Oh shit, I need to book that Friday off. Actual holiday. I'd booked the week off already before the launch. Yeah. I think it'll be alright to catch up. I think I'll be able to catch up. I've got 5 days off work. 7 days off work. I should be able to catch up in 7 days. I mean, not with, like, Bud Gun or, like, you know, Rabbit or, like, you know, something. Pretty much. Well, I should be able to catch up with the other streamers, some of them. I have a team. I've got the boys, the Bang Boys. I'm sure they'll help me out. Also, we can jump straight into some nutty group content, and I can jump straight into someone else's Atlas to start with. Be fine. Play catch up, and then go sort my own Atlas out the first weekend or something. That might be the one. I'm hoping I can come up with a League start plan that will once again require no divines like the last one. I don't think I spent a divine on my last build until I think I played it basically SSF for 3 weeks last league. Then I brought a core staff. I literally played SSF for 3 weeks and then brought a core staff. And just changed my build completely around having a core staff, if I remember rightly. Yeah. So I mean, I think I sniped that one quarterstaff, and other than that, I don't think I've got anything for that build. No, that's not true. I did spend like 40, 50 div on like random bits of armor. I had some pretty good armor. Really, really cheap build to start though, Hollow Palm. You take out a whole equipment piece, even having to worry about it. And then, you know, simplifies things a bit. I like ED Contagion. No, ED Contagion I find is too gear heavy. Really require those skill levels to make it work. Yeah, just all you want for League Start. It shouldn't be complex. I don't think it should even really needs to. It doesn't even need to involve. It shouldn't involve. I think a perfect League Start doesn't involve any uniques. It can be done just with rares and SSF friendly, either through targeted crafts or just through just not needing gear. And it should be able to get up to like. I don't think you should be doing. I think a League Start. I don't think it necessarily needs to be able to kill pinnacle bosses on hard levels, but. To be able to get you up to decent, like, red tier maps, you know, tier 12, 13. Although, who knows what that's going to mean in the next league, because it looks like maps might be going up to level 89? 90 if they're tier 60. I actually don't know. I might not have enough divines to get this perfect, by the way. Yeah, I think it's fine, but I think it is required on getting some gear. That's what I found. I found if I didn't keep up with the gear, then it was a problem. Which meant I spent a lot of time looking for gear on the floor. Or buying gear. Just what I... with it. Maybe I might also possible I'm just playing it wrong, right? It's not my usual league starter. Could have not prioritized like really key pieces or something like that. Didn't read all of Rabbit's guide. Just was like, I'll figure this out. It's quite possible I got a load of it wrong. I just got vague ideas of how it should work and went with that. Oh, this is hurting my eyeballs again. I might have to go target watch some specific parts of the next video. What we see funny or not a full play if we didn't boost you. Oh, I'd be fine now. I don't think I'd have a problem. I really don't. I mean, I might get annoyed. I think the way to just take yourself out of the trade mindset and you'll be okay. You've just got to do it SSF. Just go refarm an area or something. Fine. I think they're going to have made the... I've got a funny feeling that they might have made the game significantly easier. I've got this really weird feeling that bosses aren't going to have that much more health. That this new boss, yeah, it's going to be a new boss, but its hit point scaling will be just like Arbiter's was. And its max health will be like 32 million or something. It might hit a lot harder. Might have some attacks that hit hard, like some basic attacks, and like the gear check is getting all of your fucking gear warded up before you can actually take a hit or something stupid. And there's some big checks on the defenses, but I don't know about damage. So many of the skills they showcased seem to have that design ethos of like extra time to attacks or massive cooldowns. Like that seems to be something that's pervasive through nearly all skills now, and it was still there on all of the skills they showed when they did the showcases. So yeah, I think they might have made things hit a lot harder, but not need to be hit that much harder. You know what I mean? We'll see. Gonna have some really complex fights with some really complex mechanics. Ah, fuck's sake. About 100 million. 150 million, maybe. For a tier 4 pinnacle boss. Now that they all have the same loot pool. And the tier 4 boss is, I don't know, maybe 10 million to start with. If they want a 30, 45 second boss fight, then yeah. With the way things are. But even that, there's builds that can nuke that down in a second. Even that, it's the bosses have got some really engaging mechanics that can all be done through skill and telegraphed attacks. So if they want them to be challenging, engaging boss fights, they need to ramp the health right up. So you actually have to go through cycles of their mechanics. But if you always have to go through cycles of their mechanics, this isn't going to feel like an action RPG. This is going to feel like a fucking Souls-like. And it would. The whole point of an action RPG, in my mind, is At some point, you can outgear the need for skill. At some point, you should be able to outgear the need for skill. With enough time investment or farming investment, or if they can strike a balance between being able to do the fights using skill and then eventually outgear the need for skill. That's what I think, that's the balance they're trying to hit, and that's a really, really hard balance to hit. So, but I'm one of these people that if there is a way I can not have to learn the boss mechanics and make a build that just kills the boss in half a second, I'm going to do that every time. Especially when to fight the boss costs me divines that I could be using to improve my character. I'm not going to risk those divines to just put them on the floor. I'm not going to go, like, if I wouldn't farm bosses without a boss killer that could kill the boss without any risk to me, because otherwise it's just not that sort of game, you know. It's fucking efficiency in this game as a killer. Like with RuneScape or any other game, and it seems to have a similar player base. Oh, it's like efficiency. But we all like Factorio as well. Oh, the shark sucks. Yeah. You can juice the shark, but I think I think there's going to be ways you can, if the maps go up to level 90, I think there's going to be ways you can do, like, build your own boss, build the boss challenges in the next league, which should be good, because then there's going to be ways you can test your builds and stuff like that. I still think they should just add a target dummy, but we'll see. These are expensive boots. Yeah. Yeah, I like that video. The video he did for that was really, really good. Cool. We did it like, the intro was like, it was like a cartoon of him watching over a coliseum, wasn't it? I remember. I'm sure it was. I thought it was really well done. So it was sticking in my mind that I'm sure it's real and wasn't a dream. No, we've hit that twice. Literally twice tonight, we've hit triple 10 with the lowest rolls on the top. Yeah, I was. Do you know what I thought about it? I thought about it. It's as rare as the role we're looking for. But they're all as rare as the role we're looking for. Every single one of these roles is as rare as the one we're looking for. You know? Well, I suppose a triple 10 starts to lock in some of the sexy looking rarity of the role. I might stop at triple 10, 2020 or something like that. That would just look cool. Or just take a copy of it. I think I got another, did I? I meant to. Did I get another display case? Oh, what's it under? It did. Ready to put them in. I used the wrong fucking currency on it for a second there. Now that the display case is out, they know that they're going somewhere special when they're done, so... Damn it! find something that can roll all 69s and roll that. I would take six. It gives us, that makes it a 1 in 6,000, basically. Oh god. Right, we've got, thank you. We're down to, we can do this, guys. We need to grab another coffee and finish rolling this smoke that I started rolling. I'm going to start watching the other video for that. It's a 1 in 12,000 hitting this. It is. These fucking bot things, man. Like, surely Twitch can detect them. And I know they're coming from AI, because rather than using a dash, they use one of the parentheses. Is that what they're called? Parentheses? The long dash? Hey. M dash, that's it. The long dash. I don't remember the name of it. I think I called it a bracket. Yeah, they use those. The AI loves using them. I'm sure it's probably correct in its use and every human being is incorrect, but, you know. Fuck the clankers. We are now like 3,500 divines down on these boots. Something perfect is just not acceptable. Right. Eyes are doing the funny thing again. I know that's the time to stop, because otherwise I'll fuck up and make a mistake and start missing them. So let's jump back over to... I didn't actually catch... Like, the end of the Q&A, I didn't watch the endgame deep dive at all. But there was something I wanted to watch in... I wanted to watch the martial artist part in this again, specifically. I don't want to watch all of it again. I just want to find the martial artist part. I'm going to make a coffee. Find the martial artist part in this. One of the Bang Boys wants to find it for me and then let me know what the timestamp is in Discord. Then I can take it from there. And then I'm going to think about what the skills actually do, what they might interact with, and where we could have some decent synergies. Certainly some things that might be worth testing, even if it's not, let's do this at League Start. Because I think there were some things about the bells I saw that I don't like, but we'll talk about those as it comes up. I watched the build guide bit. Yeah. Yeah, I've seen that bit. About them putting the build planners in game. But where's the martial artist? Might be. I'm at 59. Oh, there we go, yeah.
Or maybe a three-headed chimeral beast in the
In fact, yeah,
Chimeral
let's watch both of
Wetlands.
these. Let's just go back to the...
Can see how to finish. Each
Love
in-game
it,
quest
being
line has
shown
a
how to
progress
finish by
bar
Jonathan.
you can pop out from the side of the atlas screen at any time. This shows you how far through you are, and buttons that will take you to the hubs for them. Overall, it's just a way better in-game experience with a significant number of fun objectives to complete. But just in case you didn't have enough goals, we did have one other thing that you might want to complete this league. These are called challenge leagues after all. Where are all the challenges? Well, players of Path of Exile 1 will be used to the fact that
Maybe
each league
separate.
comes with a series of challenges that you can complete in order to prove that you are indeed the best. We haven't done these yet in Path of Exile 2, but it's time to change that. If you're able to complete them, you'll earn pieces of the Knight of Alder armor set. Opening the challenge screen will show you a series of 8 challenges. After completing each one, anyone in chat or in the forums will be able to see your prowess. Opening the challenge
Fucking 234 challenges on the maps.
screen will show you a series of 8 challenges. After completing each one, anyone in chat or in the forums will be able to see your prowess. In addition, you'll get a statue to put in your hideout showing anyone you trade with how many challenges you've completed. You'll earn
Why
the first
why
piece of
just
the armor
people I
set
trade
after
with?
doing
What
2
about people I
challenges,
don't trade with?
and the
What
full
about
armor
people
set
I've
after
ducked?
completing all 8. So that covers all the content you'll encounter in Return of the Ancients. But what about some new tools to fight against these new pinnacles with? Well, we also have some new Ascendancy classes as well. But to introduce them, I'll hand you guys back to Mark.
So I know I'm gonna be at work tomorrow, but I'll be back later. But tomorrow I'm probably gonna do a stream and talk about this part of the video that we haven't watched in a bit more detail. Because I do have some thoughts actually. I think what's happening here could be really, really significant for the end game, and particularly SSF. And I'd like to go into
Jonathan
that.
said, we have
But
2 new
tomorrow.
classes to show you today. The Spirit Walker and the
Hey.
Martial Artist. Let's start with the Huntress's new class, the Spirit Walker. The Spirit Walker has developed an affinity with the Asmerian animal spirits. She is able to infuse the power
This
of
does look
multiple
cool.
spirits at her choosing.
But
On the bottom
I'll say both of these classes that they've released interact with so much of the game that I'm not surprised that they didn't manage to get out something like swords or a complete new class or a complete new weapon type. Because this changes every single boss into something that needs to be coded to be friendly. To put it like a fucking layman. And the martial artist means that every glove has to be made twice. I don't have a starter monk yet. Anyone that says they've got a starter monk is lying. Because they couldn't possibly make those decisions because you don't know what's changing. Besides, I don't need a starter monk because I'm starting 3 days late. Just going to get boosted by milk. However, on the 21st, I will look at my Invoker guide and see if I can just fix it up so that it could be used to get you to endgame. And then by the time you finish following that guide, if you wanted to follow one of mine, then I'm sure someone would have a martial artist one up.
part of the class you will find
Be
paths
Corbin or
for
someone.
each wisp you would like to commune with. Be they primal
So I'm going to be a bit late on getting mine out this league.
or wild. Each one can give you different abilities that align with the stag, owl, or bear. Each ability gives you a method to become possessed
There's
by
nothing.
wisps of
There's
that
nothing
type,
about it that
and a
says it
new
will do
ability
anything
when
with
you
Hollow
spend
Palm.
them. The stag allows
Well,
you
I'm-
to summon stampedes
maybe.
when you attack.
There's 2 bits we don't know about.
The owl grants boons in the form of their feathers, which
We'll go
adds
through it.
extra
We're gonna stop it right now.
projectiles and enhances the
Yeah, but that doesn't just affect Hollow Palm. It affects using a quarterstaff, so it doesn't add anything to Hollow Palm that it doesn't also add to a quarterstaff. So. I don't think it's going to be great with Hollow Palm, because it doesn't synergize with Unarmed. It might be just great. It might be just great, don't get me wrong. Whether it's great with Hollow Palm specifically... Anyway, we're going to get there, we're going to get there. We're going to get there. I'll pull it up on PoEDB. We're almost there. Empowers the next projectile skill you use, causing it to create an additional projectile.
Projectile speed of your next...
Frostbolt is really good if you can make it go really fast.
Against these new
What's this
pinnacles
again?
with? Well, we also have some new ascendancy classes as well. But to introduce them, I'll hand you guys back to Mark.
Yeah, it's
As
every skill,
Jonathan
yeah.
said, we have 2 new classes to show you today. The Spirit Walker and the Martial Artist. Let's start with the Huntress's new class, the Spirit Walker. The Spirit Walker has developed an affinity with the Asmerian animal spirits. She is able to infuse the power of multiple spirits at her choosing. On the bottom part of the class, you will find paths for each wisp you would like to commune with, be they primal, vivid, or wild. Each one
Right, gain a primal owl feather every 4 seconds up to a maximum of 3. Expend an owl feather when you dodge to trigger primal bounty. Does it mean dodge roll, or does it mean evade an attack?
can give you different abilities that align with the stag, owl, or bear. Each
love the
ability
one that
gives you a
evolves with the
method to
bear.
become possessed by wisps of that type, and a new ability when you spend them. The stag allows you to summon stampedes when you attack. The owl grants boons in the form of their feathers, which adds extra projectiles and enhances the projectile speed of your next skill.
It's when you evade an attack.
And the bear simply summons a giant bear companion to your side. The bear will maul, slam, leap, and do intimidating roars to debuff your enemies. Now you can specialize
Kinda cool.
more into each of these wisps, but if you want to combine all 3 of them, then a new hidden power will be unlocked, the power of the Sacred Wisps. This node is free, and enhances the quality of all 3 of your spirit animals. Your bear will take some of the damage you take, and grant you life regeneration. Your stags will become more aggressive, leaping towards enemies, and your owl-empowered skills will lead...
Your stags will pick up the scent of a nearby doe and become roused. Stampede at the enemies violently. I should do their marketing.
leave a trail of soaring ground behind them. But that's
Very
not
cool.
all. The Spirit Walker has other powers beyond
Sort
wisps.
of. I don't know, the whole animal
Such
thing, I
as
don't know, I don't like it.
idolatry,
If
which
I'm
can give
doing
you
minions, it
large
should be dead.
bonuses for using idle socketables in your equipment.
The spirits are dead.
And this one, which is my absolute favorite. The Spirit Walker, having attuned herself with
We all know
nature,
Mark's favourite
can
is
gain
Deadeye.
the ability to tame beast bosses, opening up a whole suite of very cool options for your build. Maybe you tame the mighty Silverfist in the jungle depths.
Yeah, that primal bounty, it sounds good, but the activation for it sounds kind of lame. Like having to dodge. It doesn't make it very good for bossing. And it makes it situational for mapping. Anything where you're using projectiles, if you're close enough that you're dodging, like, you probably fucked up, I'm not going to lie, right? In what situation, I can't think of a projectile build where I'm like, yeah, I really need to be in that monster's face. Unless the monster has an ability where it will kill me if I'm not in its face. I don't know. I think it's going to be too situational. It just doesn't... It sounds cool, because it's like extra projectile speed, but actually, how situational is it going to be? With a liminal coil... you get your DPS to take them, and then you run a Chronomancer full curse support and give everyone plus 250% damage. Or you could run a Chronomancer with it, One sec. Uno moment. Run double dode raise, I think. So you can get 4 casters out with this build. Plus 200%, but then it's just how can you actually make the damage. But then you wouldn't need, like, most of this build is run around for going around and getting presents on the tree, an aura effect, right? So you could drop all the curse magnitude stuff and then just switch this up into like a DPS build. Take a more typical spellcaster build, like a more... do like a comet no crit maybe. I've been thinking about it, but I think it fits on the Chronomancer. You got the extra curse as well from... one of these gives an extra curse, doesn't it? You'd definitely be able to have 3 curses on a boss at any one time. 4, I think. With some slight changes. Then you get the 200% extra damage. Which you could do with Chronomancer, or you could do it with Lich. You could do it with Lich and get a bunch of extra chaos damage as Lich with Unholy Might as well. I think both would work. Chronomancer would be the sexy one, because Chronomancer's sexier. Which is overplayed.
Or maybe a 3-headed chimeral beast in the chimeral wetlands.
It's a cool weapon. There's definitely going to be something there.
Or then there's a giant frozen owl beast, Rakar, the frozen talon. There's so many choices. You're going to have to experiment a bunch with this one, and I'm very excited to see what bosses you all choose to have as your trusted boss companion.
Fuck was that?
Maybe a 3-headed chimeral beast in the chimeral wetlands. Or then there's a giant frozen owl beast, Rakar, the frozen talon. There's so many choices. You're going to have to experiment a bunch with this one, and I'm very excited to see what bosses you all choose to have as your trust.
What is that shitty attack? You saw it, right? He just like waves his wing and this tiny snowball just comes out, just rolls past the boss. It's about to hit the wall. Just hit it.
Boss companion. Next up,
I think they might have tweaked those boss summons. They look like they're all bark and no bite. There's like a big light show going on, but I don't know how much power's behind that. Bowling ball of underwhelm. Yeah, but they've said it before, you know. They can't showcase the best stuff. They've got the showcase has to be good enough to give us an idea, without showcasing like the full power of these things. So otherwise, there's fuck all for us to find. Like there's no joy in the game at all. Then like 4 times companion damage. But I don't. Is companion damage even that good? I don't know. I've not. The only time I've used companions is for auras. I've not used them for anything else ever, so I don't know.
we have the monk's new ascendancy class, the martial artist.
I think they did a better job
of training.
Now that immediately looks cool, right? That's how.
3 of the 7 hollow techniques.
Yeah.
Channeling hollow form technique.
Right, so hollow form. Any martial weapon, any melee martial weapon. Or unarmed. Fucking loads of rampaging monks going in every direction. Just... Fucking rampage is awesome. Form a socketed attack. And so it doesn't even need to be your attack. You could socket anything in them. And if I'm using a quarterstaff, am I going to be able to socket a mace skill in them? It doesn't say what their damage is based on. Creating an image spends 80% of the socketed skills cost, creates 2 additional images when consuming a power charge. Socketed skills have 30% less attack speed, socketed skills do 20% less damage. Oh no, it's going to be based off your weapon. Any melee, yeah, not melee enough, I'm afraid, Milk, because any melee martial weapon. I mean, that sounds like it's going to be quite cool. Have they got, has that one got a hammer?
Allows the martial artist to create illusions of himself, which then use a skill of your choosing. Perfect for turning skills with less area of effect into ones that can obliterate packs with ease.
That's rolling slab.
Should you find yourself overly vulnerable while channeling,
is it? No,
you
no,
might
that's
want to take Way of the Mountain.
That's oh, fucking bolting slam or whatever it's called. The 200% starting chance per enemy power to gain Mountain's teaching on a mobilizing enemy up to a maximum of 30. Mountain's teaching, while you have any amount of teaching attacks that use yourself, deal 20% more damage. Enemy hits take that would deal damage less than equal to 30% of your maximum life. Enemy hits you take that would deal damage less than or equal to 30% of your maximum life after mitigation, but before other modifiers to damage taken, deal 70% less damage. Oh. Is that just life? I guess it is just going to be life. That's probably not going to work with energy shield. I mean, that's really good. That's massive tank. On immobilizing an enemy as well. You would be able to keep that up. You would be able to have 100% uptime on that. With something like stun. With a stun build with like in mapping. So that's 100% of the time, 20% more damage. And against all but the biggest of hits. Fuck, man, an armor monk build might be crazy strong. An armored martial artist. Like, I'm talking fucking crazy strong. You have 50% more stun. Vaulting impact. Thank you, lactose. Tolerant to the lactose. There we go. Get that raw milk in you, boy. You'll be alright. Yeah. Yeah. The bell, that bell seems a bit underwhelming. I think it's coming up next. But yeah, this seems like it's a 100% uptime thing. This seems like a Deadeye Windwalker level of good. In fact, potentially better because it doesn't go away if you take damage. But if you can life stack with armor and res, you'll be having that 70% less damage on like every hit that comes in. Apart from seriously just like the one shots, the pre-defined one shots like arbiter channels and that sort of thing. That's really powerful. And actually that level of defense is crazy. I would say that's going to be equal to or greater than anything you currently get from Invoker. No, it says hits. Specifically, I don't think damage over time is specifically not a hit. But you'd want to be res capping anyway. Yeah, but yeah, so you'd want to be to like min-max the character, you'd want to be looking for like ignite immune and things like that, poison immunities. If you wanted to go like hardcore with it. It's very good though.
Mountain, which causes you to be covered in stone when you immobilize enemies, mitigating large amounts of damage.
Essentially very good.
This can even enhance your attacks too. By hardening your weapon in stone, you can deal even more damage. After taking Hollow Focus technique, you can manifest your spiritual energy into objects. In this case,
So yeah, as you were saying, with them being yeah, creating a shockwave that damages nearby enemies. While active, ghostly bells periodically appear near your hits. Your hits immediately destroy the bells, creating a shockwave that damages nearby enemies and causes a heavy stun on enemies that are primed for stun. The bells are themselves always primed for stun and can be culled. So you can use cull, and so anything where you would generate charges or anything from stunning or culling, you can use the bell for that. I think that's basically its only purpose. While active, ghostly bells periodically appear near you.
bells, which will appear around the martial artist and can be shattered by
Those enemies were dead, and then the bell appeared.
any of his attacks.
However, he's got the power charge
Even
for the
ones
next
from
one,
Hollow
and then
Form
another bell's
technique
appeared,
earlier.
which has given him the power charge for the next one.
Hollow Resonance technique.
Oh, I hope they haven't changed our ways of generating power charges. I hope they haven't nerfed, like, Profane Ritual in Cast on Crit. I hope they haven't nerfed that. Why would I think that? It's because I'm a doomer. That's why. There's no reason to think that. There's no reason to think that. They might have changed, right? But there's much better ways of generating power charges than that. It's a pretty shit way of generating power charges through mapping. That being said, for like early game bossing, power charges on bosses sucks. You have to use like siphoning strike and stuff. It's fucking lame. So they're, yeah, it might be okay. The thing it is going to do is always every 4 seconds you're always going to have something you can hit for that stun to synergize with Hollow Form to get the Way of the Mountain thing. Whatever it's called. The thing we just looked at. I forgot the name. Doesn't matter. It'll synergize with the other Hollow thing. So that you've got double stun.
Furthers that by adding a manifested bell to your back, which rings each time you deal a critical strike, damaging all enemies around you.
That's very cool.
Through all the martial artist's thorough training,
Right, these are the two we don't know. Sorry, I'm like, I'm old man eyeing the things. I'm like, my face is pressed up against the screen. I'm trying to see what I can see. This is just some dude like standing like a pulling some pose, and this guy's definitely got a quarterstaff in his hand. These are the two nodes that we definitely... I don't think we know about these two, and maybe one other. But these might be something specifically to do with being unarmed, but I doubt it.
he has mastered the flow of internal spirit.
Some of the runes are pretty good,
energy too, and has engraved runic tattoos around his meridians. By doing this, he can gain the benefit of extra runes. Just open your inventory and add the runes. There is one that counts as a helmet, 2 as a body armor, 1 as gloves, and 1 as boots.
Why are his gloves on his
Finally,
dick?
your hands, the ultimate expression of a master of the martial arts. Taking Way of the Stone Fist will cause your gloves to become a new base type when equipped. Each modifier on the original pair of
It feels like this should be for unarmed only, doesn't it? It's not. It's not. It's just got a name that makes it sound like it should be. It just changes the stat lines on your gloves. That's all it does, right? It doesn't actually make your fists stone and make you want to punch people with stone fists, but it's just got that sort of name. That's what I find sometimes confusing about this. The logic in it is a bit It's a fucking fantasy game. Shut the fuck up.
Gloves has an equivalent, more powerful, and more impactful modifier. For example, these gloves add some physical damage, cold damage, lightning damage, some resistances, and life gain on hit.
Last line. That's pretty good, man.
Now, when I equip these, they become literal fists of stone.
That's really good. Life on hit with attacks. Isn't there only one thing that does that? Isn't it Death's Touch? Isn't Death's Touch the only thing that has that line on it? You can't get it anywhere else. And it's just life on hit, I think. Like, because Monk can hit really fast. And if that counts as... It says enemy hit with attack. So if you're using all the bells and everything, and you're getting off, like, I don't know, 10 attacks a second, that's... Not having a pretty good healing. Getting off a lot more than that. Enemy hit with attack. So actually, in the throw of things, that's going to be like having a healing potion running at all times. More than.
And not only grant me a bunch more evasion and energy shield, they now also grant a lot more damage, some maximum resistances, and a significantly higher amount of life gained on hitting enemies.
Wasn't the other one life gain
all
on
the
kill?
different rune combinations you could do, and the different modifiers on gloves, there's a ton of different build options, and we're looking forward to seeing what you can come up with.
Didn't it change life on kill to life on hit?
Now, with so many new bosses in this, me a bunch more evasion and impactful modifier. For example, these gloves add some physical damage, cold damage, lightning damage, some resistances, and life gain on hit. Now, when I equip these, they become literal fists of stone, and not only grant me a bunch more evasion and energy shield, they now also grant a lot more damage. Now, when I equip these, they become literal.
Yeah, they're really... That's...
Fists of stone, and not only grant me a bunch more evasion and energy shield, they now also grant a lot more damage, some maximum resistances, and a significantly higher amount of life gained on hitting enemies. With all the
like
different
2 extra
rune
lines.
combinations you could do, and the different modifiers and gloves, there's a ton of different build options, and we're looking forward to seeing what you can come up with.
This is my build from last league.
Now, with so many new bosses in Return of the Ancients, of course we want to have a huge
Smith.
number of unique rewards. There are some pretty cool things in here, so we wanted to show you a few of them. Twisted Empyrean is a two-handed mace made from the purest of verisium.
I like how they've got him dressed up. Like he just forgot to put on like leg armor. Cold damage. Attacks this weapon. Mana stacking could be back.
Combined with the beast's
Mana stacking fucking Titan.
corruption. It converts all of your mace's skills fire damage to cold.
That's even
And
possible.
visually does so too, turning your volcanic fissures into glacial ones.
It might be.
This
You know what
mace
other items
also
are
comes
available.
with its own built-in skill,
There's like 30 other uniques that have
Starborn
been added.
Onslaught. Using Glory, you can leap backwards, throwing your mace at the ground, creating verisium fissures, before calling behind it a storm of cold, metallic bolts from the stratosphere. Next, we have Eventide Petals.
1 second.
And metallic bolts from the stratosphere. It converts all of your mace's skills fire damage to cold, and visually does so too, turning your volcanic fissures into glacial ones. This space also comes with its own built-in skill, Starborn Onslaught. Using Glory, you can leap backwards, throwing your mace at the ground, creating Verisium fissures, before calling behind it a storm of cold metallic bolts from the stratosphere.
He's not getting any glory generation
Next,
while
we
it's
have
casting.
Eventide Petals, an amulet that not only grants runic ward, but also
I'm
comes
sure you can
with
sort
its
that out
own
with some skill
reservation
gems.
skill, Midnight Zenith. This skill causes your critical hits to grant Arctic petals that hover around you.
Okay.
Once you have acquired enough of these petals, they will be consumed, creating a floral ice crystal near an enemy. Then, destroy that crystal to do devastating cold damage to everything around it. The Raven's Flock is a staff
Every part of me wants to do a build with this. The fact that we don't have RF until we get this particular item is disappointing. Yondi. Yeah, you must have missed that. We were talking about it about 3 or 4 days ago. Ooh, I just didn't make a video about it. What are you asking, Bradzel? Yeah, no worries, dude. Yeah, no, it's about 3 or 4 days ago. Yeah, it got sent to, yeah, that's why one of the reasons I'm not practicing campaign. There's no point. Everything's going to change. Even though I'm late league starting anyway, but there's not, I don't think there's much point in practicing campaign. Unless you really wanted to practice some builds. But yeah, because they are changing everything. Yeah. Why you want to build with the Raven? Because playing a walking simulator is funny. Everyone wants the 1-button build. How about the no-button build?
perfect for minion characters. Not only does it grant spirit reservation efficiency and minion damage, it also allows your minions to inflict grueling madness.
If they're going to
on
make me farm thousands of
slowing
divines, I want to have the
enemies
least
and making all
RSI
other
possible
flows on
doing
them
it.
more powerful for maximum crowd control. That's not where this item shines though. It grants a skill called Spiraling Conspiracy. This skill causes a flock of ravens to circle you, dealing damage
Also,
over time to anything near them.
The name of it is Spiraling Conspiracy, which means I can use it as a segue to talk about Epstein as often as I want. Speaking of, they still haven't dealt with the Epstein stuff. But the aliens exist. And oil's expensive.
Killing enemies, or just by standing near unique enemies, causes the flock to grow, getting larger and larger. For your PoE 1 players, you can think of this just like a raven righteous fire. That's not all, however. These ravens are also minions. So
I
they
even made a
fully
little
scale with minion
antenna on
damage
my
and
my
come with
hat.
their own command skill, Mad
When
Flight. This command skill causes your
important.
flock to create a tunnel of deathly damage between a set of
I think-
illusory mirrors, obliterating anything in between.
I don't know what I think about Jeffrey.
Horror's Flight is a pair of gloves instilled with the purest of fear. Equipping these causes your enemies to become terrified.
Yeah, yeah. Well,
These gloves cause you to gain
not too great,
stacks of
actually.
fear incarnate
I've had a
when you
really
cull
terrible 4
enemies.
months. But, I'm all right
To
now.
aid in your culling,
suppose.
these gloves also come with the skill Crushing Fear.
Excited for the new
This is
patch.
similar to the monk skill Killing
Bit
Palm,
disappointed I'm missing the
except
first
it
3
deals
days.
chaos damage, and the amount of damage and area of effect scales drastically
Nicely
based on the
hyped.
power of the enemy. As you use this, gain your stacks of Fear Incarnate, which increases your culling threshold, meaning enemies become easier and easier to cull, even to the point of being able to instantly kill some monsters
Yeah, yeah.
from full life.
Everything's appearing with the culling mark at full life.
Sylvan's Effigy is a scepter for those wanting to run companions. It allows you to have any number of companions of different types, instead of the normal restriction of just one per type. But what makes this cool is the
Similar to
Asmerian
that
wolf
culling thing
companion
again?
it comes with. This, even to the point of being able to instantly kill. To aid in your culling, these gloves also come with. This command skill causes your flock to create a tunnel of deathly damage between a set of illusory mirrors, obliterating anything in between. Horror's Flight is a...
What are they going to do when you've got Fists of Stone? You know that's going to be percent chaos damage, right? The attack speed will probably just get, like, tripled. Yeah, it's alright, dude. Thanks. Alright, only happened once. So the Fear Incarnate, that increases your culling threshold by 10%, doesn't it? I think that's what it
Pair
said.
of gloves instilled with the purest of fear. Equipping these causes your enemies to become terrified.
Obviously, I
of you.
can't know what this is going to do with
These
the martial
gloves
artist.
cause you to
but
gain stacks.
Fear Incarnate grants 10% increased culling strike threshold and lasts 10 seconds. Duration is refreshed. Gain another Fear Incarnate.
Of fear incarnate when you kill enemies.
So you could be running around with this is my shopping list. At least I do normal things in Notepad, not like some of those streamers that open this and have fucking a load of links to dodgy porno sites. These are the things I needed from the shop. So you got the 20%. Percent. Percent damage is chaos. That's almost guaranteed to that. Probably a really high roll as well. 20 to 34 is going to be like what? 5 to 30% probably. Looking at how the others were rolling. There's an overrolled. Plus damage on gloves. Like a tier 0 or just, it'll be the U sign, of course. Dexterity is not going to be a high roll. That'll probably just turn into whatever a dexterity line does. Same with attack speed, but the attack speed looks overrolled as well. Oh man, I do need to eat some actual food. Wonder where these are going to drop from. It sounds like... Do you know what they sound like? Sounds like new ritual boss more than anything else. If it's going to drop from anywhere, I reckon it's the new ritual boss. That's my thoughts on that one. The art style is more akin to that. But they've got the Delhi sort of color palette, but it's the Raven thing. Oh, is it? Or could it be? Also could be ravens. Was it the video that had the raven flying in when he found the mirror in the tree? Was. He did. I think these are going to come from a new boss. Personally, I think they're gonna synergize really well with the martial artist. It depends what it does with that fear incarnate, but just from having the bells out, you're just from just having the bells out, you're gonna have Culling Strike, 20% more damage, 70% DR, hits less than 30%. That's not even including like other things that we could get from stunning the bells or culling the bells. The support gems that activate on stun and cull, right? Which could easily be used to give us other bonuses. They're in the game now. I just can't think of them off the top of my head. I'll have to go look. Which we might do.
To aid in your culling, these gloves also come with the skill Crushing Fear. This is similar to the monk skill Killing Palm, except it deals chaos damage, and the
Fear is an emotion.
amount of damage and area of effect scales drastically based on the power of the enemy.
Normal close strike limited to 10%. 10%. Yeah, that is how I would understand it. But
as you use this, gain
look
the
at
stacks of
look.
fear and calm,
These are enemies that
which
he hasn't
increases
touched, and this icon above their head, where my mouse is now, that means that they're in culling range. That means you will cull them. As far as I know, that's what that little icon means.
your culling
Look,
threshold.
they're coming from off screen. Like, he has not touched these. And they're all coming in with that blue icon over their head. So, what it reads like, and what I'm seeing with my eyes in front of me during this showcase, looks like two different things. As far as I can tell, he's on a monk as well. So, I don't... Yeah. But there's we can definitely see the culling thing. I'm going to grab another coffee. Ponder that one a second. I'm sure I'm right that that's the culling thing. I'm sure I am. I don't pay attention enough. I normally just fucking slapping buttons. Cup of 9 o'clock coffee. I saw a vid someone saying that you can now cull magic monsters from 100% life with those gloves. Do you want the vid? Yeah. It looks like you can, right? I mean, what I'm seeing here is this is it's from Killing Palm. The more I was thinking about it, this shows up when you can cast Killing Palm on something. And Killing Palm's on his thing here.
Enemies become easier and easier to cull, even to the point of being able to instantly kill some monsters from full life.
Let's have a look.
Since they're introducing a brand new build, so we will see. The new skill on the gloves also looks interesting, and I'm thinking about using that as my main damaging skill if it feels good enough.
Yeah, this is the thing that he's got
It
on.
has around 25% more damage than Killing Palm, and it offers good coverage. Skills playable with quarter. Doesn't reach the one.
Yeah. So they must be stacking up some culling strike in this video as well. I don't think it's just the gloves on showcase. Never made a cull build before. That might be good on Witch Hunter then. That's the bit I was looking for. Was the maths. That's everything's gone all funny. I don't think they're melee only.
Sylvan's effigy is a scepter for those wanting to run companions. It allows you to have any number of companions of different types, instead of the normal restriction of just one per type. But what makes this cool is the Asmerian wolf companion it comes with. This is a persistent minion that bites foes to maim them, leaps to cause bleeding, and even howls to buff nearby allies. Additionally, it comes with the command skill Eternal Hunt, which when used it will howl.
Did he just
calling on
laugh
the
when he said
spirits to-
that?
Asmerian wolf companion it comes with. This is a persistent minion that bites foes to maim them, leaps to cause bleeding, and even howls to buff nearby allies. Additionally, it comes with the command skill Eternal Hunt, which when used it will howl, calling on the spirits to manifest spectral wolves to ambush all.
No. But the way he says hunt. The same way I'd say cunt. He's got like that weird R on the roll onto the NT. That if he said the word cunt, I think it would be. Oh. We need to see if we can get Mark to say that word. If anyone talks to any creators that interview GGG, put that as the question that you just see if you can get Mark to say it. I need that soundbite. Yeah, but it wasn't. It was the way he said it was the way he pronounced the NT, and it was specifically very good.
Foes around you.
It was wasted on the word
Liminal
hunt.
Coil is
Wasted.
a crazy wand. It allows you to apply as many curses as you please, but those curses will have no effect.
So, why I think Chronomancer will be good with this, looping back to the question that came up earlier about theory crafting with this, why I think Chronomancer will be specifically good is you've got Inevitable Agony as well. Which Inevitable Agony I don't believe it has any curse magnitude. I don't think it has any curse magnitude as a curse. Did I end up... Have I got a Chronomancer? 1 second. Do have a Chronomancer. Always got a Chronomancer. Gloopy codpiece. Being glooped in. Well, it is a curse. It's already a curse that ignores the curse limit. So you'd be able to get an extra curse, which is an extra 50% damage on that wand. Yeah, that's right, dude. Came up in the video. Two choices are jumping out for solo play. It's not this tree. This tree's a party support tree. But it would be Chronomancer because of the extra curse. You've also got the slow as well, which you're going to get without the curse. Other than that, though, I mean, Temporal Rift and Time Freeze are very good as well, especially for bossing. I mean, Time Freeze is very good. If you wanted to do, like, if you wanted to do, tendency boost or something like that, providing that's still a service that people want to do. Things like Time Freeze, they're pretty good. But I think all the power would be coming from Inevitable Agony, because it would be potentially an extra 50% damage. The other option, I think, is... Where do I not have one? What do you mean I don't have a Lich? Fuck, no. Don't start the game again. So the other option, I think, would be Lich, because you can... Where is it? Yeah. The Incessant Cacophony will also allow you to apply additional curse. But you'll also get Rupture the Soul, which is going to make them explode, which is going to give you AoE really, really well. So I think that's probably going to be the winner. And then you'd be able to get 4 curses out with the right build. You've got Whispers of Doom that's going to give you a +1, right? Yes, you've got Whispers of Doom. You could have Dode Rays. And then this. So you get 4 curses out. Or you'd have that same setup where you've got Whispers of Doom, Dode Rays, and Inevitable Agony. And then if Inevitable Agony works, it would be fucking crazy good single target. Like, crazy good. But if it does nothing because of the reduced magnitude, it'll be shit. Which would mean Lich would come out on top. Because of the explosion and because of the additional curse here. And you could also go for Blackened Heart and go for, like, massive damage. Or you could go for a really tanky build. So, like... Yeah, you could go for a super tanky high damage build. Like, you could do an ED Contagion Lich and then pivot onto using that wand and then go to a Curse Spam Witch where you use... you could arguably use Dode Rays as well. You don't need to find a way to get enough Spirit to run 2 Curses and Blasphemy for it to feel good, I think. Preferably 3. Which would be really expensive on the Spirit. want so much stuff. But yeah, anyway, they're the two options, I think. That would synergize best with it. There's probably some other fringe stuff as well. I can't think of right now.
What's the point then?
Yeah.
2 reasons.
You could easily go
Firstly,
ED Contagion
your
into
spells
that.
gain a bunch
Which
of
I
extra
like
physical
ED Contagion.
and chaos
It's not going
damage
anywhere.
for each curse on enemies. Secondly, is the skill it grants called Coiling
I
Bolts.
don't think, anyway.
This
It's not
skill is a
overpowered.
projectile spell that fires coiling physical and chaos projectiles with every cast. What makes this skill truly special, though, is that it will split and chain through every cursed enemy, causing an absolute ruckus. See for yourself. Periphery is a unique bow, which utilizes all the powers of the Asmerian spirits by dealing damage.
This bow stuck with me more than anything else. And you know why it stuck with me? It looks fucking shit. I don't know why. It just didn't jump out to me about doing something. And I think it's me being simple-minded. Because the elemental damage from hits contribute to flammability, ignite, chill, freeze, and shock all at once is crazy. Like, if there's so many things that trigger off of effects that you should be able to do something really good with that. Hey, Joma, how's it going? All good, all good. But more than anything, it was the
All
Asmerian
elements.
swarm that jumped
And
out.
all elements can cause all ailments. The coolest thing about this bow, however, is the
These look like living lightnings. They don't look any different to me than the living lightnings, but they're just red now instead of blue.
Asmerian swarm skill.
They even look like they're doing the same thing as the living lightning, which is go up to an enemy and do nothing.
These are minions that are summoned when you kill enemies. They will pursue all
But they are
nearby
actually killing
enemies,
things.
damaging them, and inflicting a debuff on them.
Oh, stop shooting them with
boosts
your
your
bow.
elemental damage.
Yeah, you saw it kill that skeleton there, but it took like all 5 of them, and I think that's a white mob.
Damage even further.
I think they killed that mob there before he fired.
Watch as you
Kind of hard to tell.
mow enemies down, and the swarms of Asmerian wisps aid you.
No, there's not a swarm. There's 5 of them, the same as living lightning. There's not a swarm. There's 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I've been looking at my UFO files, and I know how to count lights in the sky, and there are 5. Hey, Dobry. I never went anywhere. I was just playing something else while I was bored. You could have watched me paint the map as EU5.
Melting enemies one screen.
Yeah, these are
at a
living lightning. Hang on, no wait, there's more than 5. There might have been 7 there.
All nearby enemies.
No, there is more than 5. Look, because some of them are inside each
damaging
other.
them and
I think there's
inflicting
7.
a debuff on them that boosts your elemental damage even further. Watch as you mow enemies down, and the swarms of Asmerian wisps aid you, melting enemies one screen at a time. The Ordained is a new spear, mastering in physical and light.
You could self-cast Despair on a second weapon, yeah. It's gonna be yeah, you could do that. You could also curse yourself, but then dealing with all those curses on you is going to be problematic. I don't know if I'd go down that route. Not for early game, anyway. I think there's going to be some stuff, maybe, that you could grab to enable that. There's definitely something there.
Lightning damage, with high critical strike chance too. This spear allows you to leech life not only from physical damage, but lightning too. It also creates a fragment of divinity nearby periodically. What are those?
Yeah,
Well,
what are those?
this spear has the skill Righteous Descent, which is an epic, divine leap, aided by angelic wings.
It looks
If
fucking
you use this
awesome.
skill when a
It looks
fragment
fucking
of divinity
awesome.
is nearby, it will become empowered, dealing significantly more damage, gaining massive area of effect, and bypassing its cooldown. When fighting a boss, let a bunch of the fragments spawn, and then just unleash your divine havoc, obliterating them.
Yeah, that boss only had 100,000
Last,
health.
but not least, we have a new unique jewel, voices.
Go on then. What do we think it's going to be for a 4-socket voices by the end of week 1? Do you think a 4-socket voices will exist? What do you think they're going to drop from? I've got some ideas. I think Delhi. If it follows suit, with PoE 1, it's Delhi, right? Hey, Kata. I think it's Delhi. Voices is definitely Delhi, because it's like the voices in like only a madman would ignore a god's instructions. It's Delhi, man. It's Delhi, 100%. It's Delhi. Gotta be. Or would it be? Ultimatum already has a special jewel. It's Delhi in PoE 1, isn't it? It's definitely dropped from Simulacrum. Yeah, they dropped from Simulacrum in Delhi, yeah. Yeah, that's what I mean, Kata. Where do we think they're dropping from? I think Delhi. Gotta be. I think it'll be the there's a new boss for everything. Is there 30 new bosses? 15? No, 15 new bosses, aren't there? We know Toll's going to be one of them. That's 100% confirmed. I think it's going to be this, right? It's going to be, broadly speaking, farm breach for jewelry, farm expedition for gear, farm Delhi for jewels and cluster jewels, farm ritual for uniques. This is targeted farming. Farm temple for currency. There's your 5 core mechanics. No, don't follow me around, camera. You've been in a really good place. Damn it. And I think there's going to be... We've already got... Right now, Temple you can go farm today. And then Abyss is going to be for... Abyss is going to be for its target crafting that it already is now, right? Because there's specific Abyss target crafts and that sort of thing. And Abyss crafting lines that are needed for rares. And that's like a support... I think that's going to be like more of a support thing. But I think that's how the 5 league mechanics are going to be. And that these things will be then like these new target uniques. I am gutted that I'm starting 3 days late, Kata.
Voices is simple.
I'm off to Amsterdam on the
consumes 1
29th.
jewel
I'm not
slot
back till the
to add
31st.
There are versions that add 2 jewel slots, 3 jewel slots, and for those who are absurdly lucky or rich, one with 4 jewel slots.
Super lucky or rich. I mean, Mark knows. Mark knows.
Equip it, and notice the slots appear next to your character's portrait in the center. One of the things we are concerned about
is what it is. I'm sure it'll be
how long
fine.
it takes for experienced players
I'll send you
to
guys some
replay
pictures
through
from
the
while I'm
game
over in Amsterdam.
each new league. As we learned from Path of
Not
Exile
of the red
1,
light district.
one of the things that can really help is having elements in the campaign that tell you where to go, if you know what to look for. We'll
Maybe of
cover
the
just
cog.
one example per act for Acts 1 to 3, but there are many more than just these. For example, Hunting Grounds in Act 1 is a large, sparse area, containing multiple entrances and landmark encounters. Here's an example of some of the changes we've made here. Finding the ritual encounter in this area isn't too difficult. Now after completing it, a trail of locusts will lead to the entrance to...
So I'm not a member of the Speedrunner Discord, but I would imagine there might have been some level of annoyance and discomfort when all of this was announced, and then when Suna said there's no point in practicing layouts because it's all changed. Although it does sound like what they have done is targeted the areas that were most troubling to the speedrunners. You know, the ones where they've got a 40-page Word document outlining all of the layouts of a certain area. It does sound like they've approached those ones as the ones that needed hints. No, they do have voices in PoE 1, yeah. Yeah, voices, it's a cluster jewel, and it gives you multiple cluster jewels. Doesn't it? It turns your jewel socket into multiple jewel sockets that you can put multiple. Yeah, it does exactly the same thing. But you either get 7-slot, 5-slot, or 3-slot ones. And they have small passives that do nothing in between the jewel slots. I think, or something like that. For the 5s and the 7s. I can't remember exactly how they work in PoE 1. It's been a long time. Basically, they went to the boring areas and made them less cock and ball torture. I mean, but that's good. That's good. And if they actually went to the speedrunners to find out, those guys have done all the research into what's a ball ache or whatnot. You know, that's proper market research. I just imagine that the speedrunners that have actually learnt those layouts and committed that stuff to memory are probably like, ah, fuck. Speedrunners, a lot, you know, some people are into different things. Stat prep, you know, shouldn't judge. I'm pretty sure you get them from Delirium. I'm almost certain they drop in Delhi.
Freythorn. Just follow it and find
I
the
haven't
source of
PoE
the
1 that
evil.
much myself, so I'm sure they do.
You may also find corpses of dead animals, killed and pecked at by the crowbell. You'll notice a trail of blood leading away from them. Follow the trail, and it will lead directly to the
It's very
boss.
shiny. It's not just blood. It's not just blood. That was cool. Look, it's giant fucking crow prints as well. Look,
Corpses of dead
look at them. Like a fucking dinosaur.
animals, killed and pecked at by the crowbell. You'll notice a trail of blood leading away from them. Follow the trail.
I don't think it's the corpses that are the really obvious thing there. I think it's the fucking it's the claw prints. I wouldn't notice that. That looks like a log. That looks like that fucking log to me. I'm an old man. I can now tell that it's a cow that's sort of mutilated into the into the grass, but it's the same color as that log. Like if I was running through this at speed, I would see that, but I would notice this.
And it will lead directly to the boss.
I'm gonna have to get the Chocobo music and play it as we run through. Speaking of campaign, on Speedrun Discord, one of the devs sooner said, yep, PGG. So I think there's like practicing layouts for speed now is probably pointless. It's going to be like a fresh new game. The reason to practice would be to, you know, get your build and items and things. So much could change. So much could change. Now's the time to play a couple of other games, really. Do a bit of speculation, I guess.
To find Ogham Village. In Act 2, in the Mastodon Badlands, you need to find the Lightless Caverns and track down the Abyssal. Now to make this quicker, in the level you'll find these cracks. Just
1 sec, my cat's just demanding something. What do you want, baby girl? Okay. I wish Twitch would introduce, you know, all these AI tools, and Twitch can't introduce an auto-translate for me. Twitter has. I'm all good, thank you. I hope you're doing well.
follow them, and it will take you right to their lair, allowing you to find and unlock the Well of Souls. In Act 3, the jungle areas have camps of explorers to sell you items. However, they are now even more useful. By talking to the explorers, they will point towards the next area.
Huh?
Not only that, but it will also reveal it on the minimap.
Oh. Oh, they really have gone above and beyond to put in hints and tips.
so you can know exactly where to go. These are just some examples. We plan
No way! That teleports you back out.
to do more and more of these over time in order to streamline the experience. Now, as this is an in-game expansion,
It's just little
it
things
makes
like that.
sense
Little things like that I missed when we were all watching it together when it was live, and we were all on the chat. There was little things like that that I just missed. Where was I? I've been live pretty much every day, dude. I've just been playing something else. I have actually been live nearly every day. On this channel as well. I'm going to put it on a second channel for next time. But I'll link it up when I'm not playing PoE 2. I'm going to keep this channel on PoE 2.
it would work on Atlas
We've been
QoE.
playing EU5.
We've added
playing
a
the grand
search box
strategy.
that updates live as you type. Have a specific map you want to run? Now, they will be much easier to find. If there are multiple maps, hitting enter will move you from map to map. Now, making a
Now, that looked very good with a sort of a primed Atlas ready for the showcase, but I think it's still going to be very fucking limited when it comes to I've been playing on my Atlas for 400 hours this league, which I know not everyone's going to do that, but a lot of people do. I still think it's going to... I think it's going to be good at the start, and then it's going to be like, oh my god, this is still like pulling teeth. But we'll see.
character build in Path of Exile 2 can be pretty complex.
They're taking steps
And
in the right
instead of
direction. That's the
designing a
main
build
thing.
yourself, many players enjoy following online build guides. We have a
Don't
pretty
forget to
awesome
follow my build
community that has
guides.
built many tools over the years for designing builds, but we wanted to improve the experience of following them. So, we are introducing a new build guide system directly into the game client. Here's how it works.
I
Community
played games
creators
that were
who
just
write build
completely
guides
off
can
from
now create a
action
new file
RPGs,
format,
so I'm not surprised
a build
hardly any of you saw
file.
me play it. I'm not upset either.
Once downloaded, the builds appear
Let's do something
in the
else in my
in-game
time for a
client,
few months.
and selecting one will show you everything you need to know to make that build. So you can see
My own
all the
sanity.
passives you need to allocate, ascendancy points you need to take, skill gems you need to equip, and recommendations for all the support gems you need to use as well. For items, the build designer can specify which uniques to use in each slot,
I don't like the
or
Atlas.
if needed,
I'm a
just add
massive
some notes
detractor
to the
from the
item
Atlas.
slot to say what kind of item you
I
need.
prefer not to talk about it because I hate it that
In
much.
fact, build creators can add
hope
notes
these are
to
steps
just
in the
about
right
any of
direction.
these areas, allowing them to explain different trade-offs.
I think this is really good. From my perspective, something like this is... It must be really hard as a console player to actually properly follow a build guide and have to be going to your fucking phone or back to the console. I think having all of that bedded in will be really nice for
In
people.
context, or just give more info about how these things
The new Atlas. Yeah, well... I think it... I haven't played the new Atlas yet, Horus. I haven't. The Emperor Protects, by the way. I haven't played the new Atlas, so I don't know. It looks like they've taken some good steps. But until I've got my hands on it, I can't really say I've hated it up to the end of 0.4. I've hated interacting with it. Anything I can do to not interact with the Atlas has been better. Like, I was only running it to do Temple this league. Last league, I think I bullied all of the Bang Boys into doing their Atlases more than we did mine. It was mostly Gondi's Atlas, I think. I don't quite remember now. But it was, yeah. It gets to a point where there's too much of it, and I find it overwhelming. That's honestly how I feel. I feel overwhelmed when I open it.
they can also give level ranges to each element, allowing recommendations.
Oh, no, the Atlas tree. The Atlas tree, yeah, that seems... It seems like that seems like to me like it's masking the problem a bit, because there's going to be a load of these keystone nodes where we have choice. So we're just filling out an atlas and then making choice. Is it specific keystones? There's still obviously going to be meta farming stuff that you need to set up, and there's still probably going to be ways you need to change your tree to optimize for certain farming strategies or certain zones. So I don't think it's really going to change much. It's just going to look a lot cooler when you open it. But the atlas itself and the infinite atlas, I'm
to change over time.
not a fan of that.
Great for builds that need to respec after they reach a certain level.
Yeah.
Now, all of this is written in a standardized build format that creators can use, and we imagine that a lot of community build tools will be updated to add support for this format. Now that we have trade market searching built into the in-game
Where do
client,
they talk about the tree?
we have added the ability to price check items you can find more easily. Control-Alt-clicking an item will now search for it on the trade market, showing.
Now, we had an Atlas pass
The new trade search as well. I let my feelings know about that. I think it's funny timing with all of the bans and stuff that they've done, but I'm glad they're bringing it in-game, and I'm glad that there's one less third-party tool we need to use.
the tree before, but it was one of the areas of the endgame that just wasn't up to scratch. The Atlas tree now works quite a lot differently.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Until I get my hands on the Atlas, I don't know. It still looks like the same problem, but it's just... You can create a problem in an area and then decide you're not going to farm that anymore because it looks shit and then go off in a different direction. I don't know. I don't know. It looked funny.
We have significantly upgraded the kind of mechanics that you can find on the Atlas tree. Like this one, that gives a chance to make
So, when they showed the Atlas in this, they have your land, and then there's like the ritual areas over here, the breach areas over here, and the expedition areas down here. And then the expedition area, you were clearly like, yeah, I don't know how it's going to work. Are you going to keep going in that direction? You're always going to be in a ritual area, or is it going to be like searching for towers again, where you're going to hit a bunch of maps that have like nothing special about them, and you're just going to be like fucking blasting through them looking for the next patch of ritual or the next patch of breach? I don't know. If there is still that like 4x exploration thing going on, it just really doesn't, to me, it just doesn't hit the vibe of having the exploration side of things. It feels like a hindrance to what you want to be doing in the game. So I very much hope that that's gone, but I really couldn't be sure.
Retreat from combat.
Yeah, that's what I don't know. Shagar, that's what I don't know. And if it is random, then we're back to the tower problem, but it's just the tower problem's changed form. I don't know. I'm not a fan of the Infinite Atlas. I trust GGG will get it working. I just don't know if this iteration is going to be the one that gets it working.
And move to an adjacent map. Before you fight them again, they'll upgrade their gear and come back with a grudge this time.
Shitstain Steve!
There are also a lot of nodes that combine mechanics together in new ways. Like this one, which lets Asmeri spirits possess strongboxes. All the regular monsters that come out of them are touched by the spirit, and the rares are all possessed, giving you some incredible loot potential. You get points from every single area you complete in the fortress, and
once if you spec completely into strong boxes and Asmeri spirits, and you use the right tablets, and then what you go and do is you go and open a load of the strong boxes, and then you go and collect all of the Asmeri spirits, and you put all of the Asmeri spirits in, say, like an Arcanist's strong box, presuming you've got the skill to do that, and you can maneuver them like that, which hopefully we can. Then you can probably do like a builder boss on a strongbox and have it just shit out divines. It's probably going to be a really broken strat. Definitely going to be one worth testing. Definitely going to be one worth testing in groups as well, with a rarity bot that can click on the chest. If rarity doesn't get any changes, I think there's some rumors that things are going to change considerably, and in fact, I think they said something like that in the Q&A. We'll go and touch on that soon. But yeah, I think that the strongbox strat could be something there. It's a bit lame because I think it's one of those hated strats from PoE 1 that just happened to be very, very good. But yeah, I think it's worth a look, right? I think it's worth a look. Yeah, these are probably going to be like mid to high invest strats where you need the right tablets and everything, and you need a set of 3 really good tablets. These might only end up being group strats because of the invest, but they're things that me and the boys will have a mind to look at.
Unlike before,
Also, why have they made dicks on the tree?
that means
Side
you can
note.
allocate the entire Atlas tree. Yes, this whole tree can be yours. This change is
For the low, low price of $29.99, this whole tree can be yours.
pretty important, since
Thanks,
it allows
Jonathan.
us to be able to create many types of bonuses that we wouldn't have been able to create before. Like this one, which gives a chance for cities to be
What is a city?
invaded by another faction, and can even allow it to contain 2 factions.
Okay, right. Well, I understand now that I think a faction, like Act 1 people are a faction and Act 2 people are a faction. Which kind of makes sense. They are factions, right? That's what they are. From what it seems like, cities are now areas of... Yeah. No one, Radzil. Nice one, Radzil. Good night, mate. Catch you soon.
Leaders.
I might
allowing
roll
you to
back
get 2
tomorrow to
crisis
discuss a little bit
fragments.
about...
If we'd done
things
this
you
kind
wanna
of
go
thing on the old tree, we would have wanted to spec into it before running a city map, then unspec out of it before running anything else. With full allocation, we can have cool bonuses like these. Now, obviously, we still want
Our city maps, so they mean Citadel maps. That they mean Citadel maps, and they've called them cities instead of citadels. No. When they appear on the map, they have loads of When they appear on the map, they've got loads of like. They do look a bit like a city, don't they? They look like if you think about what the Count's area looks like, or this the area they've got all like the temples. You got all the stone temples everywhere, and then the little stone temples and the little houses, and they all appear in like a. It does look like a city on the Atlas map. Are we supposed to be paying proper fucking attention to that thing? Oh god. Oh my brain. My poor brain.
to make sure that you have choices that define your in-game Atlas build. So many nodes in the Atlas tree are now multi-choice. Everyone will get the node, but which bonus you choose to use is up to you.
And this is where I think it's the same thing, but it's just going to be a different way it presents itself. It's still the same choice here. You're still going to be able to make a shit Atlas by choosing shit things that don't synergize well together.
Do you want your powerful boss
Oh, the fog is coming. Fog is definitely coming.
maps to contain more essences, summoning circles, or rogue exiles? But there's also nodes that contain more unusual things. So for example, on this node you can choose. Do you want to give a chance for shrines to instead be given to the map boss in the area, making them more challenging but dropping special loot?
Fucking give them a divine shrine.
Would you rather give a chance to be given a shrine buff before entering boss arenas, making for an easier fight?
You see, this sounds good, right? This sort of choice does sound good because there's a fairly obvious reason to use this choice. Are you strong enough to use it? Now, that sort of choice I don't mind, where it's not like trading A for B and stuff, where it's like, you've got a choice here on your Atlas tree that's either going to make you stronger or weaker. Can you handle being weaker? If so, we'll give you more rewards, or we'll just make you stronger and make it easier for you. That sort of choice feels like a nice choice. Quinn node? But if there's choices like this as well, and it is just a two-choice thing, I think that'll
Now, I
be...
could probably nerd out about cool stuff in the tree all day, but we should probably get back to the fortress. Now, one of the really important things we wanted to do was make it so that all the boss fights in the endgame are now accessible with a quest line. That means that to fight the Arbiter of Ash for the first time, you don't need to get lucky by finding keys. They will be in fixed locations and there's a quest to get them. But the
Right, those must be cities. Those areas must be cities.
Arbiter of Ash is no longer the pinnacle of Path of Exile 2. For that, you'll need to travel into the very center of the fortress.
They do briefly show this boss
An
here,
incredible
don't they?
challenge awaits you, should you choose to go there.
This is the new boss they show right now.
After the story mode, you
Inarius.
still unlock keys for pinnacle bosses in the usual way, exploring the world and finding the keys required to get to them. But we have added a lot more interesting things to find out there as well. There are now all sorts of mechanics that can spawn on maps in the wilderness.
Super far
For
beam
example,
boss number 3.
some maps might spawn as a rogue exile hunting ground.
Hey, do you like those mechanics? Well, here they are again in yellow.
Containing multiple rogue exiles who are there to hunt rare beasts. You might come upon them in the middle of a fight and be able to take out both of them.
Yeah, there's definitely some cool changes to the end game. One thing I didn't actually get a chance to watch, and we watched most of this, but I stopped watching it at Temple Changes going to core, and then I never watched the end game deep dive, which I think could have some interesting stuff here. I'm assuming at the boss design they're just going to be complaining that we're rehashing bosses again. Also, Ziki looks very happy. Yellow Arbiter. I don't know. I don't know about Breach. Let's see what the new bosses are like. Toll could be a really good boss fight. Yeah, I had I think 3 hours of listening to them talk while also talking to the lads and smoking a load of fucking doobies probably fucked me up. I'm gonna make one more drink. I'm just gonna see if my milk's there. I don't think it is. I'm gonna make a hot chocolate instead of a coffee. I can't drink coffee. I need to go to sleep. Or black coffee. Damn, this is going to be horrible without milk. Alright, so what are they saying about Temple? Because I liked Temple, but hopefully they give us some hints and tips on how it's going to... I still think it's going to be the currency farm.
I've seen it getting asked a lot with Temple going core. Is there any major changes there to how
so
Temple snaking works, especially?
we had to get rid of the snake strategy. It caused a lot of problems. We actually had a solution for the
They had to get rid of the snake strategy.
snake strategy, the proper solution, as it were, that we wanted to do right after the league launched. Like, it was actually this one was actually on holiday, and like I was like, okay, I need to like fix the snake strategy. But the problem is the one that we came up with is that we felt like it would be a mid-league nerf if we deployed it.
Yeah.
Didn't they deploy it for a weekend? And didn't I already figure out how to build a snake with it? And then built a snake with it over that weekend. Yep, yeah, I did. So if you want to build a new temple,
Hey guys, we're going to be talking about the temple a bit today.
this was a temple I managed to build following the snake nerf. And I kept it going. I got quite a bit further around with it. It never collapsed. It's only about an 8-minute video. I go through all the steps, how to build it, step by step. What you can still do with it, how you can fill it up.
Shorten the road.
And then I built it on stream as well. In a weekend. It's not as good as what you could do, but it was still fucking mad. That was in the weekend where they deployed the mid-league nerf that they had to revert. So I think we still might have a snake strat. Depends if they've changed it beyond that. If they've changed it beyond... because I thought that was the nerf that was going to come. would literally just be about how you could use those medallions. And honestly, if that's the only change that comes, just check that video. And then go start building yourself a nice snake. And then break the league. Get the second Wind League started a week after launch again.
So we made like a few band-aid fixes, but it wasn't really the correct strategy. And ultimately what the snake strategy is it comes about because there are rooms that the game wants to delete, but it can't delete them because it would disconnect the temple.
Oh.
Yeah.
And so what we've got as a solution to that effectively is that if that would happen, then it will just create an empty room there that still connects it up, but isn't the room that you had there before. And that just means that there's no incentive to kind of do those weird strategies.
Oh. Temple's dead. The temple's actually dead. Like, fuck me, that's dead. Well, no, not no. Yeah. Yeah, no, the chain will stay there. They just make the room an empty room so that when you run it again, it's just like an empty fucking room with nothing in it. So you know when people had the point where they would connect it and it would explode. Like it would be like that, and all the rooms that could delete would just turn into blank tiles that when you ran through again would just be empty, and that's what they would do to it. That is actually fucked. I love that. I like the temple. I was looking forward to building a snake temple at some point in the league because I actually thoroughly enjoyed it. But I was just hoping they'd nerf the loot down and be like it was clearly something. But I think it was causing problems because of the amount of loot that was dropped. Anyway, the fix is what the fix is. It is what it is. It was a fun league. We dropped mirrors. It was fun for a league. It's not coming back. Blah blah blah. This happens. It happened to Harvest. No point in dwelling on it.
Anymore, which
I miss
should
Harvest.
result in all of the weird, really broken stuff from happening. Yeah, like you can kind of take it more at face value because you don't have to worry about this like particular way of organizing things to be able to, to be able to do well.
And to be
Why
clear,
Jonathan's
the
jeans so
current,
fucking tight?
like snaking
They're like-
is resulting in what we deem as 1,000%
like
unacceptable
painted on.
levels of item drops.
Yeah,
Like,
the item drops are out of control due to
actually
that.
out of control.
But there was just there's always the situation when you've got the stuff where like we would love to nerf it, but you can only nerf something like that if it hasn't gotten too out of containment before you nerf it.
Yeah.
Because the moment that people feel like 10% of the player base have like gotten well, then I can't do it, and like you're pulling the ladder up behind them and that kind of
Yeah,
stuff.
exactly,
Like
yeah.
it just doesn't feel good.
Yeah, I'm sure you did get that opinion that doesn't feel good when 60,000 players fucking ran away after 2 weeks.
So
yeah.
That's the whole thing.
we just sort of had to let it be, and the thing that sucks about it is that it can make people's perception of what the correct level of item drops is to be incorrect, and that can then mean that like when we don't have the like bananas temple loot going on, that people like might not be as happy with that. But it'll be a thing there, like one league down the line after they've forgotten about that part, it'll be okay. But yeah, like that was it was out of control, and we didn't love it. That being said, like there are also some. Did you get the extra reward stuff for the reward?
6 or
rooms?
7,
Is
I
that,
think
like-
now, Mike.
Yeah, we've done some.
I've got a
buffs to
sword,
the
even if the
reward
game doesn't,
rooms,
so-
but-
Basically, just like if you play it conventionally, there's some buffs to the rewards when you're like for the stuff that was like pointless to do before. So in particular, the reward rooms that you get for killing the architects, like those weren't good enough. We want to make sure so people weren't even bothering.
There was a
playing them.
strategy where people were using those to like get quick at Zeri runs and stuff as well.
That was a good thing they said. If they've buffed the drops from the bosses, then there might be a reason to like build a temple to do a boss run. But yeah, we'll see. We'll see how this plays out. Like I liked the temple. I liked building it more than I liked running it. Like as soon as the temple was finished, I was kind of like meh. Building it was a lot of fun. So hopefully that there's still some fun in the temple building activity. We'll see.
And we've fixed that problem.
Yeah,
There's
yeah.
a bunch of algorithmic problems with like how rooms get deleted.
Well, if you timed everything by 10, then the economy was perfectly normal. Everything inflated by 10. A whittling was 83 divines instead of 8.3 divines, but it meant that if you weren't running a temple, you were pretty fucked. You weren't having a good time if you didn't run a temple.
or decide to get deleted or swapped have been changed such that there's not like some of these weird, you know, they got to the point of being honestly a little bit exploitative to the point it's like, oh, I hate that I have to do this thing.
Yeah, we certainly don't want anything where people feel like I have to do this.
Although you had
weird
6
thing
months to
I don't
build one in
enjoy
the end.
doing in order to get the most rewards. Like that's the key
And
thing
they
we
will.
want to. Yeah, because of course they will do it, right? Because that's the most reward.
Couple cool things. The Atlas tree now applies to the temple.
Cool.
Right, whole thing.
Well, the whole thing.
We're obviously relevant. There are some cases where obviously there's no summoning circles in there. You know.
What's up, Shugo?
And obviously it has its own Atlas tree
Not
now.
weird again, are you,
now
on
that
me?
it's core. And its own entire quest line on the Atlas. Where you can go there and do the thing.
There's
And
a place where it physically is.
it's like you get all the points, and there's parts of the tree that are blocked behind killing the architect, so you're getting like little unlocks and stuff like that.
There's
going
supposed to be little
on, and-
districts in the city where like you kill the architect and now this district is unlocked and you can go in there and little
cute.
things. Yeah, there's just little things.
But exploring that, very nice.
Yep.
Production, could I request
you
a brief
got the
intermission
sword?
for us so we don't have to rush the rest of the endgame discussion? We'll be right back, folks.
Okay.
Firstly, I'm very happy to see that.
Do you know when he
world
takes off all our
looks
clothes?
like an actual world now.
Yes.
It's a
He takes
an
them off and
atlas,
gets
an
them
actual
in the-
map.
in the
It's
blood.
where you go and do exploration.
She already gets
So
naked.
This is kind of the goal for the outset when you were making this whole world map style atlas from the beginning.
Well, okay. I think that I didn't realize when we were making it the importance of having those fixed locations, like knowing where things are.
Okay.
And like, so it's like we wanted it to feel like there was a world of stuff to explore, but I think that we did make a mistake in not necessarily like realizing that, you know, it is important that you can get your bearings and that kind of stuff initially. So having the fixed points like has worked even better than I expected, honestly. Like,
The word initially might have been quite important there.
I was a little bit worried it would make it feel like too samey every time, but honestly, it's like it's really cool. Like in all of those points of interest, like I don't know if we really showed it, like how easy it is to sort of get to the things, but it's usually to get to one of the league things. It's only like 4 or 5 maps away from the sign location. Like when I was first showing it to you when you first arrived, like, you know, yeah, like you do just go. Like I started with it just all fog of war there, and I'm like, okay, if you just go down this way a little bit, then you get into the breach area, and if you just go like, you know,
I didn't run it in
a little bit,
campaign.
there's these abyss cracks.
I didn't run it till after. I didn't even look at it till
that's
2
really
weeks
cool.
in. Didn't even
The
look
other
at
thing
it
is,
as
well,
a
is just
piece
like,
of
the fact
content.
that there's, like, a giant
We had a
ocean
plan
to one
to
side,
run
and you
Abyss,
just
and
got-
that's what
got
we
your
did.
bearings, and we're like, okay, we're on the edge of the continent here, like this is where we are. And we did even try to sort of think, okay, well, like in the physical Ray class map,
fools.
you know, like this is the direction in which like all of the, you know, the temple of, you know, the Zeri's temple and everything of Laraval was, and like, so we're going to put it in that direction. We try to sort of like have our bearings so that all those things are sort of like have some kind of real world analog, which is pretty cool. And there's even, if you go far enough into the ocean, you will find Orius.
I made 3 in the end,
I didn't know you
Reacher.
were gonna
Which is
I didn't know you were going to say that. I
Which
was gonna
has
put
the beast is you know the apocalypse is there. You see,
Yeah, I
you
didn't
don't
even-
actually
I didn't
do
interact
anything,
with
like,
it
it's not-
going
it's
through the
not reason,
campaign.
it's like we wanted it to feel more like
We
this
need
is
to go away
actually
for Act
like
5 and 6 for that. Right?
yeah. So it'll change later once we've got the rest.
No,
of the
Orius will
campaign,
burn.
but,
That blew
you know,
my mind though. That
yeah,
you
yeah.
can just go
Hey man,
in the
fellow
direction.
Mugger
It's
here.
just pick
I'd like to ask what
things
thoughts on
up.
Falling Thunder.
It's kind of more of an Easter egg than anything.
Um,
the fact that it's there, but we do want it to feel like it is Ray class that you're exploring.
I will address that question actually. I think it's interesting that they showed it during the monk showcase. It gives me some hope that they haven't nerfed it, but also if they're showcasing with it, they might have realized it's a bit broken and therefore tweaked the numbers of Falling Thunder considerably. Falling Thunder's been a boss one-shotter now since the start. If it's finally picked up a nerf, that's gonna fucking suck because it's just really good. With the martial artist, I think it brought me more fear than anything else because there are some really good ways to generate power charges using Profane Ritual while mapping, and they were using the bell to do it. And I don't think that the martial artist is going to bring something to that from like power charge generation or anything to that particular build. It might do for like early game bossing. But I don't think the power charges or anything. I think it's still going to be a really, really good combo. And I think the extra damage from Way of the Mountain and the extra damage from the Fists of Stone won't be underestimated. But I don't think it adds anything particularly to Falling Thunder. So long as Falling Thunder's not picked up any big nerfs in the patch notes, all good for a league start. If it has, then particular things to look out for are going to be power charge generation or just massive changes to the scaling number from power charges. But I don't think martial artists will run it just as well as
I
Invoker,
think this is
basically.
like, like things are at
Or
least broadly
even,
where
like,
they're supposed to be,
any-
and like while it is like the biomes and stuff like that are all randomly generated, like what maps are there randomly generated, like the initial layout of where the landmarks are.
No, either's
is
fine.
like
It doesn't really
really
make any
nice.
We could
difference.
have like a world first race to Oriath or something like that.
I don't think it makes any difference.
I don't know, maybe.
Expedition race, so you can get over there.
Flicker might be better
That's
because
really
if you
cool.
can target the bell,
So I
you'll
think
you
before we
no
first started
because
Endgame, just
you'll be
ran
flickering.
maps
You
up,
you
but
won't
those
generate the
maps
power
were
charge
trying
from
to
breaking the
accuracy.
bells.
Yes, I agree.
Anyway.
We want that to be way shorter.
Well, you
So,
might,
like,
'cause
the
it might
first time
be
you open the
bugged.
Atlas, like, there's
So
towers
it's worth a
that rise
look.
over the
But I think
ground,
either's
like,
fine,
there's a
but it's
quest
just
marker
not
right there
going
to
to
do
add
that.
much.
But you don't have to do that, right? You
Both
go a
will just
different
be
direction,
fine.
And you'll pretty soon you'll run into like a breach or something, and then you'll be an NPC. You know, like within 1 or 2 maps, there'll definitely be an NPC telling you, "Hey, look over here," and like it'll appear in the fog of war. You'll
Preference,
see there's a quest
really.
marker, you're like,
Flicker
"Oh, right,
or,
something over that way,"
Falling Thunder,
That's
I've
the
always
kind
seen
of
as
experience
preference,
that we wanna
whether you
have, of,
like
feeling like you are exploring,
going
like,
around the
kind of-
map like that,
I
or
guess it's more of a sort of. It's funny because it's a little bit in a way it's sort of a bit more like that sort of open world
Or
game
not.
design that you would get from a kind of open world game, except it's on a kind of like Atlas level.
Yeah.
So you need to be thinking
There's
that
actually points
feeling
of
of like
interest.
but there's points of interest and stuff to find and that sort of stuff. And not only that, but we did want to make
at this
kind
site
of,
at this
the
stage,
infinite
both
part,
should
like,
still
once you have
work.
done all
But
the
I
quest
think
lines,
power
the infinite
charges
part
might
needs to
take
be
a
more
hit,
interesting
so
too.
keep an
So
eye.
now what we have is all the leagues are adding Atlas mechanics, right? Like, so you've got things that, and I guess that's one of the other things I really want to make sure people are aware of is like all the leagues do have things that interact with the Atlas in interesting ways. So like, you've got the delirium fog thing where you're spreading fog over and the positions of things matter and where you pick to do it will matter and
Actual
like that sort of
abyss
stuff.
cracks that
Yeah,
you
yeah,
close
actual
on the
abyss cracks that
Atlas.
close on the Atlas is really cool. Like I really like that one.
You see, that to me kind of sounds like what they've just explained right now sounds like Towers 2.0, where rather than trying to find a crossover of towers, I'm trying to find the perfect bit of Atlas to run certain maps for the best farm, which sounds... It just sounds mildly frustrating. It does sound mildly frustrating. This is why I'm not liking the sound of the Atlas still. I feel like we've taken a step forward with the removal of towers, because what it meant was you were looking for specific parts of the Atlas that you could run maps on. But now instead we're getting fucking specific parts of the Atlas that you can run maps on. Hope everyone's alright, Baku. Catching a bit. I kind of hope they're synergizing with being unarmed, but yeah, I mean they could be a bit more generic, eh? I don't know. As I said, I'm a massive Atlas detractor, so don't listen to me when I'm talking about the Atlas.
that was one
Well,
of those that-
maybe
that
maybe
people-
do. I don't know.
People thought I was a bit crazy when I suggested that one, but it's one
I
of
think
those
we're
things
taking
that's
a
just,
step
it's
back
just
again.
really cool.
No, it's crazy.
So it's fun to come up.
And the reason I think that is it's the experience, right? It's a novel the first time to find this thing on the Atlas and go, oh, my maps are better. It's not novel when you're looking to set up, which is what people do on this game, a 2-3 hour farming session. And then you're spending half your farming session running shit maps to get to the maps you want to run because that's where the next zone where you're going to get a buff to Delirium or whatever it is you're trying to farm.
With those kinds of mechanics for leagues and think about how they can escalate
I need
and so
to
on.
I need to get my
But
hands
it
on
also
that.
adds like another
now.
sort of
I need
deeper
to
layer
feel
everything
it.
too, because one of the
Touch
big
it.
issues we had with all of the leagues was that they had kind of like their mechanic, but they didn't have like, and here's how the mechanic changes, and here's how it evolves, and like there wasn't kind of a lot of that going on with those initial 010 early access leagues, and it's really adding all that extra depth that like makes an actually interesting thing. And like part of the reason why we identified that is because like when we came to write a quest line for them, we're like, well, there actually isn't enough here to write a quest line for.
Yeah, there's nothing.
Like there just kind of wasn't really stuff enough to do. So it's like we have to add a bunch more to make it so a quest line is reasonable.
Yeah.
Oh, hey,
to
Yoshi.
do.
Yeah, man.
And so the quest line actually sort of drove in some ways, like the making sure that there
Doesn't sound silly, Fab Skills. When they mentioned going out into the ocean, I actually thought what was going to happen was it was going to load like 20 maps at a time and then like get rid of those maps when you were done and load another 20 maps. So it wasn't like an infinite thing. You were just refreshing a set of 20 maps. Like, which was something Tri had suggested a long time ago. And I was like, only 69. When it gets to 420, that's when we'll shout about it. Yeah, I think it steps in the. It's still. I don't know if. Yeah. Yeah, what you said there, Tekken, does make sense. It does. The infinite side of the Atlas still sounds like it's going to be a concern. I
There's
wouldn't
an
have posted
evolution
it if
that
it wasn't. I know
happens,
it wouldn't have been
across
worth
the
shouting
course of
about
every
if it wasn't
league.
exactly
And
69.
I guess that really does set the standard now for what you have to make a league for PoE2. Like that, it's going to have things like that and mechanics like that.
It seems like you're really trying to min-max the breadcrumbing.
Yeah,
here,
look, even I'm
particularly, 'cause,
hyped now,
you
man.
leave
I've been
the
sitting
town
and
like,
fucking
you leave
moaning
the
in
second
guild
map as a
chat for the
tower,
last
and
2
then, like,
months.
3-4 maps after that is the gate of the giant fortress.
Yeah,
that just
exactly, right. Like, we want
comes up in front
you
of
to
you.
get to that stuff quickly, right? And
Yeah.
the funny thing is that it also, like, look, what we said earlier about how the different sort of amount of time it takes for, like, the average player versus what people believe is the average, like...
Should be okay. I still think...
It really does need to be that
yeah.
minimal number of
He's
maps
got
to
hands
make
on
that
it.
happen, because for some people, like, they're taking a long time to complete maps, right? Like,
Yeah.
you know, like, if it's taking, like, you know, 7 to 15 minutes in some cases to do a map, like you don't want it to be multiple hours of gameplay to get to the first...
Even that's fast by the average.
Yeah, yeah. And it's like,
What?
we don't...
7 to 15 minutes is fast by the average on maps. That's nuts. Really makes you think.
want it to be hours and hours later.
Maybe they do need to make this game more casual friendly. At the end of the day, they want this to be more of a success.
When you finally get to one of these things. So it really
That's
does need to
fine.
be just a few maps. And obviously, if you're a fast map runner, you're going to just blaze through that real quickly. But yeah, you do need to sort of consider, you know, what that experience looks like if it's the first time. Because a lot of this questifying stuff is for people who don't even know what's in the end game.
Yeah.
Like an issue you'd have with a first time player before is you'd go in the end game. It's like, is there even anything out there? Like we don't even you don't even know, right?
Yeah.
It's like you need those kind of like a few guideposts to even get you started to be like, okay, well, like here's some stuff that I might be able to find.
Yeah, and even if you don't go like that tower into the fortress,
No, you can
like,
go another way.
literally pick any direction. Like, because that was the thing that surprised me the most when you were showing me by kind of like revealing the map was like you literally can't pick a direction and miss.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
you will-
You, you will hit something no matter which way you go.
Basically, it actually made like the raid class situation look. This raid class situation is crazy. It looked pretty dire. You're like basically surrounded on all sides. You're like, you look one side and there's like a giant breach for Conquered area.
Yeah,
There's,
it's
a freaking abyss over there.
We'll just wait,
Freaking fortress
wait
pops
till
up.
like 5 years from now.
I know,
What
right?
the heck?
Because now, whenever you add a new thing, you add it as a spot on that.
Yeah,
It's like
we're
a
probably,
stupid-
we're
No,
probably
no,
have to
change
do
the
a bit of
others.
rearranging to make sure that the newest stuff is like close to the center, and there's like, you know, the ring outside that.
Oh
which
god,
is
it sounds like they're
just
the
keeping
lesser
it.
known stuff you can kind of
It
snake out
becomes
to get
some
to.
like weird passive tree situation where there's like stuff
It does sound like from how they're talking here that the Infinite Atlas is here to stay.
further out and stuff getting closer, and
Yeah.
that's that is going to be wild. But it also kind of helps solve that problem a bit because like I sometimes I go back and I play like a game that's been around for a long time, and the way that usually they're like 10 years worth of content is presented is like a giant menu,
Yeah, no.
and
it's definitely much
it's
cooler that you find
very
it.
difficult to
Yeah.
engage with that. But here it's physical places in a world, so
Yeah,
it's kind of almost solved by the fact that you have to travel to them to start interacting with them in some capacity.
Yeah, I would say so.
So it's kind of a nice solution.
I mean,
for that as well.
but yet all of them do have events that will occur that will direct you there and like reveal it on the map and show you that it's
Yeah.
there as well.
Yeah.
If you do find that in the,
Thanks,
in the-
Mike.
You know, so you sort of get quests.
We have a few things as well, though. Like, it's a lot, but I also don't want people to feel like, oh, I have to do all of it every time.
Yeah.
And there are different ways. Obviously, I think we mentioned the way to shortcut the fortress completion. Like, if you just want to...
It'll
obviously,
be there.
there's
If I
like a
click in
grid
10
tree
minutes, it'll
of,
be there.
of nodes, right? So you can go like path of least resistance to all the. If you're look, this is if you're good.
Yeah.
If you know what you're doing, you're repeating, good build. Like just beeline towards that, go to that, go to that, go to that, kill the bosses, kill the pinnacle. Right, you've now done the quest line, and now just go out into the infinite and go and farm, or maybe go do one of the other leagues, or two of the other leagues, whatever, and then go out and farm. And every time you then get a set of citadels, you kill the thing, you can then auto-complete a section of the fortress.
And that unlocks a big chunk of
And it'll
passes
just be
at
like
once.
ding, 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 and complete all the maps, and you're like, all right, sweet, there's my 15 points, allocate, and so you don't have to just like hunker down and sit in the fortress for like forever.
Yeah.
Right?
We
can
were
just-
really concerned that what would happen is like you'd kill the boss and you're like, oh, now I have to do all these maps in here like to just finish it off. So we wanted to make sure there was a shortcut for that stuff. So if you didn't do all that stuff while you were going there. So if you're a new player and you don't like burning through the tiers that quickly, that number of maps is intended to be the number that you need to be able to do.
No way, thanks, dudes.
An average player who hasn't
Thanks,
done it
Jover.
before to be able to tear up to get to like to get to T5 to get into this part of the fortress and then
If you're
get
doing
to
everything in that
yeah exactly. So like
Okay.
it's kind of designed to be like for the players who are normal. But if you're a player who like really knows how to tear up really quick, then you can just
for
like
your-
beeline to the quest objectives really quickly and get through that very quickly. And I guess one of the things that we wanted to do as well, even just for the regular leagues, is like if you're like an actual like
Yeah, Tinker. Yeah, we're finally back in
a
PoE 2.
player, like we sort of imagine it's like a night of
Finally
gaming is what
back
it's
in
gonna take
PoE
you to,
2.
like, do
I'm
one of
finally
the
done
quest
with
lines.
painting maps
You know,
on
like,
stream.
I mean, I don't mean like a like
promise.
half an hour. I mean like like a solid night of gaming.
a couple
You know,
hours,
a few hours, right? You know, like of gaming is enough to kind of get
hour.
like a sort of a fairly reasonable player through one of those quest lines.
Yeah.
And then that's kind of that can be like your goal for the night. And then the fortress might be like a couple more initially, but yeah, but I mean for the good players, they're just going to be able to they can obviously get through the stuff really quick because they know how to burn through every map really quick and that kind of thing.
So with the fortress, like, so how many roughly passives is there on that core atlas tree that you want?
It's more than 300, I believe.
Okay, so that's like 300 maps within the fortress.
No, but it isn't because some of them give you more than 1 point.
Oh, do they? Okay.
Yeah, so we actually initially had it, so the number of points on the tree was the same as the number of points in the fortress. But the problem was that we found that
That's a ton of maps.
yeah. Like, the number of maps that was too many.
Okay.
So we were like, okay, we need to do some like things here so that the atlas tree can be bigger than what the fortress is.
Roughly know what it is, like 100, 150 or something?
I actually don't remember what the number in there is.
Yeah, I can't remember the exact number
But
either.
yeah, like we sort of wanted to make it so that it wasn't
Right,
onerous.
There's
to
a
get
few
through it.
options there as well if we want.
Yeah.
If we want. We haven't yet, based on testing really, is what is technically it doesn't have to be every map gives you a point. It can be the first X map
so
gives you a
excited.
point.
I'm gonna
Like
tell you,
as in
but-
technically you can fully allocate the tree.
Yeah,
completely.
voice and layouts or whatever you don't
It's
like
just
as well.
if we needed to do that, we've got lots
Sword?
of levers to be able to flexibly just go. Okay, this is
Very
my
much
way
We
so.
to
don't want the
win.
fortress to feel like a chore, though. That's like really important.
Well,
so we're
that's
very
what I was going to say. Is
careful
like
about
I
that.
was
Long like sword?
a little worried that would be the case, but you showed me that there's like there's little icons at the top of the maps, and that
Metal
wasn't
like
all
a
of
sword?
them. Like what was shown in the footage was actually you hadn't done the list yet. It was like half of them or something. But what surprised me, so these are adding like
enough.
things like every rare monster in the map is an essences, or
got two of them.
monstrous treasure, or rogue exiles are fighting each other. And,
They're not a
hunting them down and stuff like
0.6.
that. It's all this other cool stuff, and
Going straight to
what I was surprised to
1.0
learn
in
was that
December.
these are actually all individual unique things. Like there's they're not being repeated inside of the fortress.
Yes,
There's
the
one
fortress,
of each of those
yeah,
things.
exactly. So all of those mechanics are things that,
one-offs.
there's one-offs, and so
crazy.
if you auto-complete that part of the fortress, you're effectively losing that.
But yeah,
for
1.0
for
will bring new
run.
classes
But
and weapons,
They do
I would've
appear
thought.
out in the infinite as well sometimes to kind of make the infinite farm part like kind of more interesting.
But this is like really interesting. So like even in PoE 1, as good as that end game is, which is really, really good, is it kind of takes like 30,
Maybe it
40
isn't a
maps
script.
before you start getting like stuff
The
to
foil,
be
I
in your
think.
maps all the time,
Actually,
right? Like
right.
you've got the scarabs, you've got enough points. But
There's a foil.
here, you've almost created like an end game atlas
Foil
area
with
of
the
maps
rounded
that you
tip.
can do, but that's preloaded with like scarabs
effectively,
almost.
yes. And then as you do that, you're
couldn't stab
effectively
you
then
with it.
loading it more with the Atlas
Torture
tree,
with it.
Yeah.
so that when you do the infinite farm, you've kind
Smack
of got
him.
more of that stuff there.
So when you run out of that, then you've got your passive tree full
of
filled
course.
out and everything.
And
it's
the
juiced up.
passive tree does add a lot, and of course you allocate all of it now, so it's like changed quite a lot how the passives work. We have had to do some work to the on the level design side to make it so that the maps can support more of the of those kind of mechanics and so on as well, because like for people, because you've got like especially after juicing and everything, like
juice
that can
is
be
getting-
quite.
The maps can support more of the mechanics. Does that mean we're going to be able to add more than 3 tablets to a map, or there's going to be some other way of juicing the maps? When they showed the fragments tab in the demo, it definitely had tablets still in there. Maybe a tinker. It's got to be swords. They can't not do swords, man. They can't not. No one asked for talismans. We wanted swords. Dondi asked for talismans, to be fair. He wants to be a bear. I'm just going to go with my milk in and make a cup of actual tea. fine. Oh, what's in the hype chest? Oh, a happy fish. A happy love fish. Oh, amazing. Love a happy love fish.
A lot.
A bit too much, was it?
Yeah.
Speaking of things like the completion, there's a few other little bits where people are like, oh, I've got to do every league tree. Like, that's a lot, right? Because that's the same thing. You don't want to be too chore-like. But reality is, there's a few changes around this. So let's say you do the fortress or you do the infinite and auto-complete it after doing the quest line. And then you do just delirium. Now, you can run 3 delirium tablets and it will scale all 3, and you can just go do that for the rest of your life. And the thing is, people will be like, oh, but breach can randomly spawn, and then I have to get the breach tree, otherwise I'm not invested in it.
Yes, we have changed how this works.
And once you're so effectively your area can support 3 leagues, and juice versions of it. And so when you force 3 delirium tablets, it won't spawn other leagues.
So effectively, by putting a tablet, what putting a tablet in does is lock what that league will be, thus preventing the other leagues from spawning.
I love you, Yoshi.
That you don't have a situation where, by not doing a certain league, you're losing out on potential juicing because you've effectively made sure that you're going to get the specific content you want. So you can do that, or you can still leave it wildcard by using the generic
irradiated.
Copy that off Psycho Ghost.
Yeah.
Can you still mix and match
Of course, yeah, of course.
So you can
still do exactly right. And
you could do breach delirium if you want 2/3 breach, 1/3 delirium. You can do whatever. You combine it.
Yeah, a greater level of control over this.
Yep.
We all know you shouldn't combine these. Well, maybe you should combine things with delirium again. I don't know. I'm interested to see what they've got to say about rarity. Apparently it's changing.
What it means is that if you just want
They don't
all
say
in
anything
on
in
1,
here,
you
though, I
can.
don't
If
think.
you want it all in on 2, you can. If you want to go 3, you can. And if you want to get them all on wildcard, you can do that.
Awesome. Okay. Yeah. And part of this that I was a little bit worried as well that you
Well,
were
they do, but it's really short.
the physicality of the map is really cool, but
We might
I was a
leave
bit
back
worried
to
that the
that.
downside of that would be that you'd be removing this ability to focus on things.
No, but you definitely can.
Yeah, okay. And in particular, I was worried about the breachstone thing because I was like, oh, so if you want to use a breachstone, you have to find one of those things on the map to put it in. Does that mean you can only farm a boss if you physically have one of those locations on the map?
But no, all of the pinnacle keys are all tradable, so you can do that stuff.
And if you have 20 of those keys, you can just do the boss 20 times.
Yeah, exactly.
You
So
don't have to
the
find
bosses are all in the so each of the leagues has a kind of hub that where the league, and that happens in its physical location, right? So there's the and the hub is where you use the pinnacle keys in order to fight the pinnacle boss. So that means that if you want to do them back to back, you just go to the hub, run 120 bosses.
Okay, so this is like a load of
Once you've
burning
done the
monoliths,
quest
but
line
one for
you can
each.
then farm it as much as you want if you trade. The other thing that we've done
That's
is, so breach is
fine.
unique in that regard because in order to kill the penultimate boss to get the ticket to the ultimate boss, you do need the biome.
What?
Now you can buy the key after, right? That's completely fine, and you can buy the breach stone, but that one is unique in that you do need to go find those biomes, or someone has to go find those biomes. So.
Well, I just it fills me with an existential dread. It does, because of the fucking towers and what they were like in 0.1, and it's just ringing the bell. Towers. This sounds like towers where you're fucking spending your time trying to find something you want to do.
These leagues also,
And I do hate that. I do.
For example, simulacrums. Like you do deliriums, you get this grand mirror, you apply the fog, and there's a simulacrum in there. We do still drop simulacrum splinters, and a lot less of them. And once you finally get that item, instead of that item now just going in the realm gate because that's gone, what that does is allows you to turn a map into a simulacrum on your atlas. And so that will give you an extra key. And so there are some ways, the expectation is that you complete the quest line and experience all that before you complete a simulacrum. But later in the game, when you're farming, there's actually alternate ways to get access to more of these. And so we have that for a few of the leagues. I can't remember exactly which ones do and don't because it's asymmetric. But yeah, some of them are like trying to counter that. So it's the thing with breach where if we're finding a breach stone versus breach.
It sounds like there would be a lot of really interesting videos to make in the first 3 days of the league. Sounds like there'd be some really fucking good ones to make, like just some 5-minute ones. This is the do's and don'ts of Breach, the do's and don'ts of Delhi, the do's and don'ts of fucking this, that, and the other. Shame I'm not going to fucking be here. Yoshi, do you want the login to my YouTube channel to make some videos?
Biome imbalance, we can do a thing where once you've finished the quest line, you can start getting splinters towards pinnacles without necessarily having to do that, or maybe there's some other mechanic where you can create a breach biome, you know, in the fog of war. That way,
Sounds like everything's going to be just that little
mechanically
different enough
created.
that it will need an
Reveal
explanation,
one
you know.
that definitely was there the whole time, and you know, go over there and do that. So there are tools we have to be able to do all this, but yeah, breach is relatively unique in that regard. The others are less problematic, but you know, just trying to have different ways.
One of the things that is fun with those ones, though, is that there's reasons generally to pick one area of the Atlas versus another. Like, they're kind of subtle, but like we should have tried to explain that with the Delirium one, where there's certain emotions that only come from certain map boss classes. So what that means is that you're like, okay, if I want to be able to get this emotion, then I'm like, I want to find this type of map to put it on. So then, like, you know, that I get that. So there's little hidden things like that the
biome's actually not.
Yeah. So there's stuff like that we can do too.
Cool.
And so yeah, picking where to do the Rite of the Nameless can and where to do the Delirium, things like that. Ideally, that stuff should be something you actually do have a little bit to think about. You know, because it can affect the rewards a little bit.
Yeah, right. Wild. Okay.
Yeah.
Now it's impossible to
Oh,
say.
I wanna
like,
think. I
hours
wanna-
of
wanna
endgame
kill the
play
monsters.
on endgame for Path of Exile because it's like you said, it's so variable. But how would you say some of the endgame milestones for Period 2 now like line up with maybe the milestones from Period 1 that we're a bit more familiar with? So like, for example, getting to the Fortress Pinnacle boss, unlocking your full tree, so getting that full clear of the Atlas if that's the clear goal. Filling up those nice new progress bars for the league mechanics. Like, where do those kind of pan out?
So it's definitely intended that the kind of like completing the fortress is supposed to sort of be analogous to doing Atlas completion in PoE 1. You know, it's like a kind of similar thing that you're the similar type of goal.
It is almost like a PoE 1 Atlas on the map.
Yeah, a little bit like that. So
if you can get enough tiers, it's 45, 50 maps to kill the pinnacle if you can.
Okay.
Right, like, which is honestly not, you know, that out of control. No, that's not Fortress complete. That's that main quest line complete, right?
Yeah.
Like, it's
So they're saying that the average to complete a map is about 10 minutes. They're expecting everyone to have... They're expecting it to take about 10 hours of being in maps for you to be able to kill the pinnacle boss then, on average. For the average player. Okay, yeah, let's take it to 750 then. So 750. So what have we got? Like 12 hours? About 15 hours. So they're thinking what? About, on average, 15 hours to do the campaign and 15 hours to kill the pinnacle boss. So 30 hours a league is what they're thinking to actually complete the game, each league. That doesn't actually sound unreasonable for the average player. Over the course of 4 months to have that much playtime, right? That seems reasonable. If to go and do the challenges, it was reasonable to do that in 30 hours on a character. I think that's probably a good aim. There should be a lot more content than that, of course, and difficulty levels that take it above that. But to go get all the challenges, get to the leagues unlocks, get the microtransactions and all of that, if that was wrapped up to 30 hours of average play, I think that's a good mark.
you know, you think you've got a big square with 2 ramparts, you're just going up to this thing, up, over this thing, up, and then to the middle, and then out to the back, kill this, kill the thing in the middle, right? And you just follow this path, the shortest path to it. If you can do it, go for it. It's fine. It's entirely up to you. Which again, good players generally will be able to. So like, yeah, 40, 50-ish there. And as you said, the first, the ziggurat to the fortress wall, pretty short distance. Like it's right there and then right there. Let's say breach. I'm just giving some examples just to give some people some context. Breach is the closest biome to the ziggurat, the closest start. So you just, if you went tower, what is it? 5 maps over to breach.
Nah, it's less than that, I think.
4, sure.
Yeah.
Then you do a few breaches. You don't have to do that many. She gives you the first breach stone. You use the breach stone. You do. You can probably minimum 1 hive, 1 sky hive, and then the boss. Now, this is the problem that we run into a bit here, where I have level restricted the bosses.
Yeah, I was gonna say you can actually do this too fast.
I don't want you to just do a tier 3.
It's tier restricted.
Yeah,
for
tier
map
restricted,
tier.
not character level. Yes.
Yeah.
As in, you do need some ways to improve. So if you
Charlie.
just go shortest path.
I never left, I was
yeah,
streaming
you're
something
probably
else.
going to find you don't have the waystones, but if you know what you're doing, you can obviously get pretty far pretty quickly, and then you can kill, you know, the breach lords, and then you can immediately do the pinnacle as soon as, because we've level waystone tier restricted the penultimates.
Hey,
But then
buddy.
it's like breach in the fortress, whereas like, okay, over to the left of the ziggurat you've got breach, slightly further across is delirium, so +5 maps. Even that maybe ritual +5 on that, you know, like +5, and then the, what is it, 8? It's probably only like 8 maps you have to do. 9 maps or something within each. And I'm talking like absolute. If you're just zooming to the end, you know,
So, like the early versions of the end game, the thing definitely burned me out. Was just like the sheer amount of time it took to just travel through maps. I was even like coming up with theory crafts for like ideas of like, oh, what if there was one of these travel maps that are, like really fast? So
Yeah, that's
it seems like there's just so
we
much
were
less
all
of fun
doing that,
between-
Ziggy.
travel between.
I mean, like
We were all
that's
fucking
that's
doing
the
that,
experience
hey.
you're going to get if you know what you're doing, right?
Yeah.
If you don't, it's going to take longer because you're like, okay, I need to be able to put up this. I'm not juicing it as much. I'm not doing all this.
Well, at
stuff,
that point,
you know?
yeah, when you're in that position, you're focusing on the actual content you're doing, not
Yeah,
like your
that's
goal
it.
so much, because you don't have the experience for that anyway.
Yeah.
King's March is a bit further away.
It is. Being on the coast, it kind of, if it had put it too close, it would have restricted the other things that can go there. So we've got like a sort of slightly longer lines that to shorten the distance to get to King's March.
Oh yeah, so it's not as many maps.
Yeah, so it's not as many maps as what it would be for the normal conventional distance.
Right, yeah.
But yeah, it is a couple of extra maps further than some of the others.
The cool
What's the betting? Someone has a bugged atlas and can't get to King's March. There's someone, the connections just aren't there.
thing is, because it's
Probably
that
Yoshi,
wasteland,
yeah.
as soon as you get
probably.
to King's March, you're given the first logbook.
Oh yeah, cool.
So you just instantly like reveal a whole section of ocean, start
Go on
mapping.
islands.
Yeah.
I don't know, you
You've got
guys are gonna have
15
3
to
days
20 maps
experience to
per
regale me with
logbook,
Yeah.
give or take.
come Monday morning.
You
So
can, if you did just want to explore, like let's say the logbook you placed didn't spawn the chase thing you're looking for, you can just shortest path to you know, the edge and then reveal another, and you can go
Check another logbook and
up
go again.
sideways. Up it's just a big grid of squares.
Are the logbooks tradable thing? Like if you want to blast through that?
Yeah, the quest ones are not like
Obviously,
which
yeah.
the big grids of squares, I must say, they do sound a bit more appealing. Like you unlock a square of maps at a time because you can complete a square and move on, and it's like feel like you're doing something. And that doesn't sound so bad. I think the expedition and the logbook way of interacting with the maps might feel quite a bit better than the rest.
By the
At
way,
least
you get your
how
first
this is sounding
logbook,
to me
it
so
spawns
far.
a guaranteed island with a quest marker. You complete that, it gives you your second logbook.
Because the start's questified, right?
So the first
therefore-
thing, yeah.
Which is amazing to me because I've never interacted with expedition. So all of a sudden I'm like, am I going to be an expedition enjoyer?
So you
the
get through
first-
those bosses and stuff like that with the first 4 logbooks.
So it actually takes you all the way to the boss as part of the
yeah,
quest.
because as I said,
Oh,
because now what we're doing is every single quest line takes you to the pinnacle boss, right?
so-
Like there's no randomness in the ability to do that, you know.
Because it is the active league, the in particular, the Runes of Eldur Pinnacle
Yep.
is more maps than some of those other biomes.
Alright.
Because it also it doesn't have a tree, right? Because it is the active league.
Right.
And it has just a lot more generally going on in many different
Yeah.
ways. So it itself is a bit more, there's more going on.
But then when it's not the active league, we can then, you know, like get that to be more like in line with the others and that kind of thing.
Oh man, I'm so excited for this to play it so much. But funny thing is though, like I heard you talking about very recently this idea of like,
There's a fucking sword behind him, isn't it? What's that? That looks like the Templar. Or a paladin. Like it's like that's like a paladin's armor. There's the shadow. I think that's a dagger. I think that's the shadow. That's the shadow right there. That's a sword, and I think that's the Templar. If the Templar was a Chad Crusader instead of a skinny hunchback man. That's the shadow.
It's actually good to have a quitting point, stepping off point, and this seems to be tackling that problem.
So
too.
that was another big thing when we were.
Well, we know they're
designing
coming
this
at some
initially,
point.
is like, so I mean,
It'll be
and at this
1.9.
point we were literally just looking at Steam reviews and being like, okay, like what, like on a more meta level, like why do you get
No, don't
situation
don't
where
start putting
someone's
on the
like,
tinfoil
game is
hat.
terrible, 400 hours played, but like what leads to that, you know what I mean? And honestly, we're like, one of the big problems is like there isn't an obvious point to stop, and like eventually any
We'll go back
any
to the
end
start
game's going to get
before the
boring
end of stream.
eventually, right? And if like you didn't have a point of like you felt like you were done, like if you've got a place to leave, then yeah, you're gonna then the game's gonna eventually suck for you. So like we have to be like, we want to actually get you to feel like you're done, and part of the way that you do that is you add more objectives that like have progress bars where like you finish them and then you're like, okay, I'm done with this now. And so whether or not you want to do all of them or not, the key thing is that there is a point where you finish the fortress, you've got all the points there, and like there's progress bars, and like there is a point where you do, you know, you finish the league. There is a point where you finish, you know, all of the other league mechanics around, and then, you know, and then there's, for other people, there's challenges, right? Like part of the reason we wanted to add challenges in this one was to see, like, there's quite a lot of people who just like the thing that their goal for the league is finish the challenges and then I'm done with it, you know. And so it's like it's just another one of those things that PoE1 had that can give you an objective for yourself, so that you know when to quit, because ultimately the goal is, you know, like we want you to play when you have a great time, but we want, when you decide to leave, that you come back with a plan to play again next league.
That's a very adult way of looking at the game. I think having those objectives and a point where he
so long
feels
as we
like
can
you're
get
done
to
is
that
going to be
point,
really good for a
without
lot of
burning you
people,
out, then
probably
you're gonna
myself
be
included
wanting to
on
come
that
back and
one.
play again. So yeah, it's like that. It's just one of those really important things that
Do like
people
other
just didn't
video
really have,
games,
because it just kind of petered out into like into nothingness. It didn't really have like this.
Yeah,
I'm done with this now.
Ultimately, it's just
Try and
about
find-
having
try and find a new
cool
wife in the
core
spare
goals.
in between
exactly.
leagues.
And then you've got nice clear goals for that now. It's probably like Fortress plus
Good
like a
Dagger stuff.
specific league mechanic.
Yeah,
Pinnacle
yeah.
boss
Or
or
years
maybe you
forget.
want to do all of them,
Fine.
or maybe you don't. But the key thing is yeah, like you get to that point, you know when you're done with it, and you know we've got those progress bars that can pop out the side, so you can sort of see at a glance, like here is my like in-game completion of like how much of that stuff they've done. And you also know, by the way, that when you do finish that progress bar, that you have seen all the major content that the league has
Right.
to offer in terms
So-
of like, you know, you fought the pinnacle boss, and yeah, there's more.
They're banging about the end game. They've made it more exciting. I'm sure they're probably just gonna talk about how much you're gonna want to come back for leagues. But let's just loop back to the first 5 minutes of this just for a second.
We just had a teaser for Return of the Ancients expansion and its complete overhaul
The fucking sword right there.
to just every single thing in the end game, complete end game overhaul. The Runes of Aldor League with a frankly somewhat confusing amount of crafting and systems.
At some point,
things
Jonathan's
in
going
it
to say
to kinda
something.
keep
I just can't remember
going.
when in
And
the
then we've
first
got, like,
5 minutes he says
Kalguran
it.
skills that work across weapons, the extra looking ascendancies, and some insane uniques and all that sort of stuff. But honestly, it's kind of easy to talk about what's not part of 0.5. So with that very elegant segue, let's do that first. So I think some people definitely had an expectation or a hope that there was going to be a new class or a new weapon type here, swords perhaps.
Unfortunately, it's just the case that making a class is something that takes longer than a single cycle. So yeah, it was never going to be on the cards for 050, unfortunately. But
So
you know,
it wasn't even that it was moved in this case.
no,
never
it just
really
wasn't.
planned.
It just isn't something that we can do in that short amount of time. So it's going to have to be the next one before we're able to get.
Well, last time you guys teased like the druid and the huntress beforehand. Right?
Exactly. So it's kind of funny seeing everyone like this. Like probably the mistake we made was having a sword in the teaser for the breach stuff.
I thought it was a fishing rod.
There's a fool me once, shame on me. Fool me twice, shame on you moment. Because he's about to say,
Yeah. So no one thought about that, but
so no one thought about that. Just,
We just had a
so no one thought about that twice, eh? The plot does thicken, eh? No, I don't even think, don't listen to me. I'm actually tinfoil hat theorying. I actually am. I really genuinely think they haven't thought twice. That is, and actually that prop's just there. Shadow's there and Templar's there because these are the things that are likely to be coming in 1.0, right? And they're not coming now. They've still got the paddle that Jonathan's been using to spank Mark into submission. That's still there. You know, it's fine. I think I did a video where I analysed everything on this shelf. I certainly did a live stream where I did.
Better.
it is way better. Yeah.
Way more chase drops to get.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Mage Blood. You know, like it's so much more crafting that you might want to min max. Like there's just a ton.
Yeah,
and you could be
I think it's going to be a big,
farm
big
the
improvement.
land.
The Atlas, it will be an improvement. I just still don't like the
not
infinite
ocean,
nature of it
okay.
personally. But I think
You're gonna go.
it depends if you're having. It does depend on if you're having to hunt for the optimal places to run certain types of maps or tablets, and then having to like manage tablets because you've got expensive tablets that you only want to use synergized with areas that are like got delirium on them, and then you have to go quite far to find another delirium infused natural maps. If it's like that, then it's Towers 2.0, and that's going to be fucking frustrating. It will just feel like Towers. Any novelty will wear off after 100 hours of playing it. That I can guarantee for a lot of people. So I hope it's not that, but we'll see. I really can't comment until I get my hands on it. So it they're selling it quite well to me right now.
You're gonna go farm the infinite
But-
land.
Time to retire down to a nice life of farming.
Yeah.
And then the next day, I'm gonna go explore.
Maybe
the
I'm being a
ocean
bit of
and
a
just logbook, and do all of those.
Yeah.
You know, like different choices, different axes. That's also important and cool. I'm gonna go do breach this day, and the next day I'm gonna do delirium, and the next day I'm gonna mix them all. You know, like
It seems super easy
that's
to
a good tee.
change like whatever it is you want to do if you want to mix a match now. So if you are focusing on expedition, like there's nothing now to stop you from going and focusing on breach for a while instead. Right?
and of course
nothing was
the
stopping
fate of
you
the
doing
Vile
that.
Temple, right? Like it actually is unique amongst the others in that it doesn't have an Atlas active mechanic because the temple is its own whole building a dungeon vibe, and so it still is a tree. It's still a
Well, no, the temple used to be building a dungeon vibe. You've made it so that if a room could be deleted now, it will be. Yeah, no, it's just going to fucking delete everything.
ears and maps. It has a tablet.
Yep.
All of that. But you know, instead of now like doing the progression on the Atlas, the meta progression layer, you're doing it
It's
in
not
the
even
temple,
going to
right?
work.
Just
It's,
without,
I
with the
think
less
it's going to
snakes.
feel really bad. I think the temple's going to feel really bad.
Excellent. And the new Atlas tree design supports this idea as well, where this core
I won't.
full tree is like a full completion.
It'll just be a
thing,
race to
which
see
is
it
cool,
Zeri's
but also,
titties
like, your
over and
initial
over. It'd be fine.
reaction to that might be to kind
Be
of
nice.
worry that, oh, it seems like it kind of removes some player decision. But you
Yeah.
have some specific things.
So
in
that
mind
is
for
something we're really worried about, and but I'll explain also why we did it in the first place. So
Yeah.
we had this problem where designing the Atlas in a way where you don't want to constantly respec really handcuffs you in terms of what kind of nodes you can add. Because if you want to add a node which is like, oh, this cool thing happens when you're in forests, it's like, well, now if you're not in a forest, you're like,
Waste of
it's
point.
a waste of a point, right?
Yeah.
So effectively, by doing full allocation, you can now say, okay, well, I'm not wasting any points. Like, they do different things at different locations, and it means that we can just be more interesting with the bonuses,
And they can be way punchier.
and they can be way punchier
Yeah.
because we're not like worrying about so much about the balance of that. So then when you're doing your initial progression, when you're picking stuff, it's more about like, you know, what stuff do I want now versus later. But the issue with that is you can't add difficulty if you've got a full tree. So we're like, and you still wanted the idea of having a build for your character. So then we're like, okay, we're going to solve
Yeah, but they. I'll see what he's got to say.
this in two ways. One of the ways is we're going to add multi-choice nodes to the regular Atlas tree, so that those ones can be like, am I going to go difficulty, or am I going to go like more difficulty, more rewards, or am I going to go less difficulty, less rewards? So that example in the stream of like, okay, for shrines, like, do I want the shrines to go on the bosses, which is going to make it so that they're harder with more rewards? Do I want to make it so that when I go into a boss fight, I get an extra shrine effect, thus making the bosses easier? So you've kind of got that tweaking you can do, and so on the regular
that
Atlas
is
tree,
good.
you'll find things like that where the design space there is that they're decisions that you're going to want to make, but not very often, right?
Yep.
So it's like, you know, as my character gets more powerful, maybe I'll flick that node from one mode to the other, but it's not something that you're going to be changing all the time. So that's that design space. But then for the Atlas Masters, this is the design space of things that I do want to change all the time, because it depends on what like maps I'm facing. But then we make it really easy to change because we've got that system where you know,
a button on the
just a
side.
button on the side, you just
Bam.
pick which one.
Yep.
So what that's actually most close to, in a way, is kind of like the Jesus Christ, I've forgotten the name of even these. You know, you pick the modes when you run a map in PoE1. What do you call that again? the
masteries.
the,
You apply
like,
masters to it.
Exarch and
Yeah,
Eater and
the
that.
influence.
Okay, yeah, that thing.
Influence,
Yeah,
yeah.
exactly, right? So it's, Jesus Christ, I can't remember any more the names of the shit. But,
I thought they could apply
it's kind of
masters
more
to a
analogous
map.
that in a way, because it's like before each map, you might want to consider what you're picking,
Yeah.
and like depending on what it is that you're doing there. So that's that design space, and so those things together. But that thing there also has like like the choices that you're going to make. Your sort of Atlas build comes out.
They're
in the-
kind
in
of
the
like your
Masters.
Atlas build loadouts.
Yeah, yeah.
But with pre-configured nodes as opposed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And way better than that, because like if you want to respec one of those, it's only a couple nodes,
Exactly.
and you can do that freely.
Yes,
can't you?
exactly. So it's no longer but by making that not be on the giant atlas, it actually simplifies that quite a lot in terms of being able to see that. So like at a glance, you
Yeah.
can see like here's the choices that are important.
So
I want to say, I'm pretty sure I ran the same tree all the time. I found like an optimal tree, and then I hardly ever changed it. There'd be some like early changes where I might be farming like essences or something, but the Atlas tree was kind of boring in the terms of like in setting it up. And I feel like it's going to be more like a unlock progression system now. I don't know. It sounds interesting. It's going to look cool when you open it up and you've got all the nodes filled in. So
As opposed
not
to like
needing-
the million other little nodes that kind of don't really matter in practice.
so nice not having also just like from I suspect from a more player who's like approaching it for the first time as well, just way less FOMO, way less like, oh my god, I don't know, do I go this way, that way, I don't know what to do. And there's still choice of how you get there, but even with the masters and stuff, that you don't have to have all these respec systems with different currencies and gold costs, and
you're just
then they're
toggling
too
on and
cheap
off.
and not or
Way
not too
better.
cheap and all of that, and yet there's still
oh no, bring back Orbs of Scouring.
built.
Orbs of
Like, there's
Regret.
still
Orbs of
Atlas
Regret.
strategies.
That was
There's
the
what
one.
tablets you're doing, what multi-choice you've taken on your league trees.
Both.
There's, I mean, even just what league you're running is in itself a build. What like, I guess you have this kind of like, you could be. It's more of a meta strategy, but you'd be like, I'm going for forest biomes because this league with these nodes on the Atlas tree equals, some certain benefit when combined with Delirium. And then you could be even doing
On
things
Tuesdays.
like, as I
6
said,
and
all
12.
multi-choice. Maybe you run this master when fighting bosses, and this master when fighting or when boss chasing, this master when doing certain leagues over others, this master while logbooking. There's just like all kinds of stuff where it's like, okay, so you'd think by having the tree be fully allocation, you're like, oh, there's no builds anymore, and then it's like, hold on, there's like,
No, there's a lot
kind of
there.
a lot,
But yeah,
a lot of stuff here.
but effectively the complexity there has been moved into a much more tight place where you can sort of do all of that in one go. So it's just a lot more manageable and it feels a lot better, I think.
What's the deal with like the sub trees within each master? Because they each have 3 tabs, don't they? Is that right?
No. So each of those tabs is a master.
Oh, okay.
So basically, so like one master is one of those tabs, and then you pick like the things you want for that master. But then when you change to a different master, that's like that's the choice of master you're making for that map.
Right. Okay.
yeah.
And it's just whatever master you have that's selected is the one that's active.
Is the one that's active, yes,
And that's-
exactly.
yeah,
So it's really
Oh, that's
Each
somewhere.
has
I've
the
seen them
4
somewhere.
rows, which is their quest line unlocks each unlocks
So, yeah.
1 row and 1
Yeah.
point. You can take all of 1 row, or you can take 1 of each row.
Oh, okay.
They're just all
wow.
kind of keystone-y things that.
Didn't realize that, yeah.
So there's a lot of even within that. There's obviously a ton of
Fucking, there's
permutations of
rarity.
things you could do.
Yeah, right. So we've got our Atlas Ascendancies and all of that lined out. So the kind of like the equivalent to your, I don't know, your T16 plus endgame juicing now is like
Emu,
go to the
Doriani.
fortress, maybe complete like the couple leagues that you're going to focus on, get your masters done. So they have their quests. I guess they appear kind of like at certain points when you discover
Those
certain
ones
things.
are like, so for example, you've got Hilda who's like sending you to kill like bosses.
Yeah.
She'll pick maps that are like a few maps away from the map you just did as like the place where she's going to set her objective. So then it's kind of like you can kind of do that like while you're doing other things because like there's you do have to visit her campsite first to like get to get her. So there's like a place like right really near the starting point where that is. But like that's like then her mission can kind of be completed as you're doing other things.
It does sound like they've added a bunch of
Whereas,
story
like,
and
other ones
flavour
are
to the
kind of,
Atlas.
they're a little bit different.
Well, Doriani's tracking down the corruption.
Yeah, so
biomes.
effectively that quest of what you had as
Well, that
like
is
the
Doriani.
quest before is now just like Doriani's like master quest.
It's his side quest
Yeah,
now,
yeah,
yeah.
and the places where the corruption biomes are is like hard, like in the starting zone we've put them in like specific places. to
Yeah,
questify going
fixed.
to them. Like,
Oh,
so
yeah.
Doyani can be like, "I'll go to this one and then go to that one and so on." So like, you've kind of got that stuff that. So his quest line is kind of that.
Seeing Doriani's quest kind of like minified into his little master thing now makes it seem like it'd be pretty easy for you to in the future make other leagues into masters like that as well.
That
they
was
can
what
be.
I was going to say next.
Yeah.
I was immediately like, someone who's looking at this damn well knows we're going to be adding more
Yep,
of
there's
these.
going to be more of them for sure.
Effectively, more Atlas classes get added over time based on different new themes. Like, because we've tried to have there's a way about how it needs to work that I can't remember the exact specifics of, but yes, ultimately, yes, it does.
Excellent. Okay. Have you guys ever considered like just making towers work like that in general? I kind of love that thing.
Maybe.
I don't want to hear them talk about towers. Right, so yeah, Endgame's getting a fair overhaul. I think on the monk side of things, I think martial artist is going to be good. I think those bells being able to cull and stun them is going to be huge for resource generation. I might do a deeper dive tomorrow through what we could actually generate on PoE2DB and have a look through. Hey, Mert, you've arrived just in time for the end of the stream, so you've missed all of it. Was just looking at some of the stuff you get from the martial artist, some of the generation you could get from the ghost spells, that sort of thing, and then just watching some of the stream that I didn't manage to watch the other night. But yeah, I'm going to have to make a move, guys. I've got to get up at like 7 hours and drive across the country to work. But I'll be back tomorrow, probably reasonably late. Not sure what I'm going to do. We might finish crafting these boots and spend all the divines and not hit the perfect boots, and then we can see why mirror crafts cost so much. But it has been an absolute pleasure. I should make a video. I'm thinking about doing one on the 21st. I don't want to do one until I've got any... I can make speculation videos, but there's no point. No point. Not enough information for me to say concretely whether it's good. Without seeing what nerfs have happened and that sort of thing. In which case, as soon as I've got that, I'm going to update my League start guide, because I'm not going to be here for the first 3 days in case people want to follow it. That'll be going into Invoker, likely. But martial artist, I'll try and theorycraft something up for martial artist once we've got more information. But I'm not going to do anything until we've got the information. I'm not. Because there's no point. And on the video front, it's just going to be speculation. But I don't mind doing some chilling out on stream, saying hi for the evenings as we lead up to it. I'm of course missing League start, so that sucks. But guys, I've got to get to bed and yeah, got to get up, get to work. I'll be back late tomorrow, and yeah, been a pleasure. I wish you all a good night.